Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the B Team Sports Show. I'm Grant Shear, and I am joined alongside Trevor Burns, Tyler Brewer, and Jack Kenna. Today, we are going to be recapping and previewing college football as well as the NFL. We are also going to be looking into some storylines. Is there trouble in paradise? All that and more coming up. And we are back. You know, it might look a little different here today. We are in the J School studio here. Thank you so much, Cal and Media Crossroads. We are beyond thankful for this opportunity. We have 3 perfect cameras. We've got some lights. We've got mics. It is awesome.
Dream setup.
It's
We're back.
the best.
Yes.
It's
What?
the best.
I missed you guys this week.
Yeah,
Good to be back.
It is great to be back.
It's always great to see you guys.
We have a very loaded schedule here today.
Let's just jump right
Let's jump
into
right
it.
in.
We got
So,
a lot to talk about, lots to unpack here. So.
Arizona State University, guys, what are we thinking? They came back down 21-7 on the road against Texas State, and Texas State is a good team. What are our thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Texas State has some pretty good wins, but ASU is really impressing. Their past 2 seasons, they've only had 3 wins all season. They already have 3 wins now this season. So already, major improvement, major strides for ASU in their first year in the Big 12. That's great to see. And they have some notable wins too. They've beaten Wyoming, they've beaten Texas State, and they've beaten Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Those are 3 big wins. You have 2 big Group 5 teams that are have realistic chances of getting the college football playoff. And then you have Mississippi State, SEC team.
Yep.
And so that's a big win for ASU. I would say they're probably my dark horse to win the Big 12, with just how they're playing right now. They look good.
They were down 21-7
Yeah,
against
They were
Texas
down
State.
21-7,
about that.
but it takes a good team to come back. I mean, they were playing on the road.
I mean-
and Texas State's
Texas State is not a bad team by any means, but
No.
still, Utah is no Texas State. I feel like, I don't know what Arizona State's schedule looks like, but Big 12 champions, dark horse, it's a
dark horse
It's a-
for a
we're
reason.
speaking
Okay,
a
it's
lot
dark
for the
horse. I'm
first
not
few
saying that they're my
weeks.
favorite.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not saying they're my favorite.
No, Jack has a great point. It is we're 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
We've
Can't
said
jump
this
the
every
gun.
week.
I mean,
love
you
it.
have.
I love it. We've said it every week.
Love talking about the future.
But, I mean, I'm going to jump right in. I'm looking at their schedule.
Yeah.
They got Texas Tech this week.
That's going to be a tough game.
At Texas Tech as well.
It's in Lubbock.
That's going to be a rough game.
It's going to be a tough game.
See,
So,
I'm not sold on Texas Tech. I think they're a competitive team, but they had that week 1 game against, I don't even remember who, some very irrelevant team, and they went to
Yeah.
overtime and lost because the other team went to on
Abilene
2-point conversion.
Christian is the
Thank
team
you.
you're
They
looking
lost
for.
to them.
No, they won
No,
by
they
one
won by
point.
1 point, 52-51.
wow.
Shout
and
out.
Abilene Christian went for a 2-point
Shout
conversion.
out to Garrett Ivy's father, Abilene Christian alum. So,
But, I mean, after Texas Tech, they've got Kansas, which the way we're playing right now.
doesn't-
We'll
we
get
need-
to
we
it.
need
We'll
to
get
go
to
back
it.
on
It's
track
up in
later.
the script.
Yeah.
But then they've got number 12 Utah. That's a home game for them. And then they've got at Cincinnati, at Oklahoma State. They play UCF, at Kansas State. They play BYU, and then they end their year at Arizona for a rivalry game.
Look, you guys are calling me crazy for being hype on ASU, but I watched the highlights from that Texas State game. I looked back at some of their other games this season. They have energy. These guys are explosive. That's the word I was looking for. They're explosive. They can make things happen and just shift momentum like that. And if you can do that in the right moments, the right days against the right teams, you're going to make some noise. And ASU has that chance. They have a lot of holes on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like the best team. Sure, they don't have a lot of the pieces that bigger teams have, like Utah and K-State.
Yeah.
But they can make some noise. And I think you got to just keep your eye on ASU at least.
yeah. I mean, you didn't say anything wrong, but
I have to try and
also,
not say anything wrong. I've been having bad picks.
Yeah, this last week wasn't good for any of us.
No, it was
But
not.
you didn't say anything wrong. But 3 weeks into the year, I mean, the game was fun to watch.
I mean,
But-
speaking of a game that was fun to watch, did you guys watch the Missouri-Boston College game?
No.
You know,
Actually, I did. I was
personally-
hate watching Missouri.
Yeah, I was too. That was a fun game to
Bill
watch.
O'Brien has that team looking good.
Yeah.
like they look good. And is it the Bill O'Brien show up there? Like,
It might be.
There are just some coaches that maybe didn't work out in the NFL,
That are
but they are
just
great
good
college
college
Matt
coaches.
Rule is an example. You
Oh
guys hate
my
when I bring up
God.
Matt Rule, but
we're
he's a great
not
example
even
of that.
5 minutes into the show
That's
yet,
Nebraska's
Tyler.
been mentioned already. Come on, man.
Go Big Red.
All right.
Okay, well, speaking of the Missouri game, Luther Burden is legit.
Yeah, do we want to roll the clips real
yes,
quick?
I think we have a clip up here, a Luther Burden clip. I mean, it was
He's
awesome.
good.
I mean, you see, he catches it
Yeah,
completely.
I mean,
spin moves one
Whoa,
cornerback
that
out,
move was disgusting.
and
That's
then he
like-
slips in between.
That's
three.
like NCAA football.
Yeah, come on.
Type
He's-
juke
That,
right
that is
there.
a top 25 team. It's not like it's just a terrible out of conference game for the SEC like most of these SEC
Yeah,
teams do.
I mean,
Yeah.
who cares if it's a top 25 team or not, man? Like,
Luther Burden's really good at football.
yes.
And if you didn't know that now, you sure as hell do.
I know there's going to be some teams in the NFL looking to draft him, and I've seen some.
I hope my
some mock
Broncos
drafts.
can get him.
We've seen
the
some mock
Broncos
drafts.
need a lot more.
we
than
need
just a
more than
receiver.
We need a lot of things.
You might be back in the quarterback market. But
Hey, chill,
that
buddy.
too.
But
Trust the
No,
process.
Luther Burden, like as much as I hate Missouri, he's looked good.
He's great.
He's looked great,
He's great.
honestly. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch him. He is one of those players where, I separate the art from the artist, separating his skill and his play from his team.
Yeah.
Hate Missouri, can't stand him. But like
That's a good quote. I like that one.
he is
do
electric
like that
right there.
one.
He's electric, he's fun to watch. And that's exactly what I say about Travis Hunter.
Yep. And on the
I hate Colorado, but he's
Travis
a great
Hunter
he's
is fun to watch, man.
and on the flip side, Castellanos, I cannot say that last name. Castellanos. He had 2 interceptions in the game for Boston College. Are we really reading into that too much, or is it just because it's Boston College? They're not
It was
too
a close
far.
game.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why you're kind of looking at it and you're like,
Yeah.
why? I would, everyone
want those
wishes
back.
Boston College could take care of the ball a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate watching Missouri. Also, so you kind of look at those players and you're like, if you could just hold on to the ball a few more times and maybe give them
Maybe
a
it
few
would
more
be different.
possessions, the outcome would be different.
Yeah.
But the better team won.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
at the end of the day, good teams. Good teams find a way to
Good
get it
teams
done.
win, great teams cover the spread.
Yeah.
I think Missouri covered.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
What was the final? I thought they
It
kind
was
of
like
ran
a-
It
away
was
with it.
27-21.
27-21.
They
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
did not cover the
Yeah.
spread.
yeah.
Oh, well.
There you go. That's
They're
the
not a
first.
great team.
That's the first Tyler.
Speaking
quote
of
of
not
the
a
day
great team.
already.
Speaking of great teams, Alabama beats the brakes off of Wisconsin 42-10. And before we even jump into this real quick, Tyler,
I was gonna say.
What
I-
the
I-
hell were you thinking?
I gotta defend myself, ladies and gentlemen. You look at it on paper. You have the number 4 team in the country going into Big Ten territory at one of the best.
You shouldn't be
environments.
defending yourself. You should be apologizing.
Yeah.
At one of the best environments, it had all of the makings for an upset. Sadly, I overthought one thing, and that is Wisconsin sucks at football
Yeah.
this year.
Alabama beat the brakes off of them.
So I would like to apologize for putting that on potential upset watch. I would like to apologize for my terrible take. How good, though, is Jalen Milroe?
Oh, Jalen Milroe is really good. We have a little bit of a highlight clip of Jalen Milroe coming up, but man, he was just fun to watch.
Yeah,
Every time he had the ball, I thought he could do something special with it.
Yeah, I mean, also though, come on, you can't forget about Ryan Hollywood Williams,
I-
the 17-year-old, an absolute weapon on the field.
He's
I mean,
insane.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like you can't win a game with one player, but it
They
sure
can come
seemed
pretty
it
close.
sure
They can
seemed
come
like it
pretty
was pretty
close.
to
close.
put this in perspective, Ryan Williams is 3 years younger than me, and he is dominating football in the SEC.
He's winning at life.
Yeah.
He's
winning
the
at
hardest
life.
conference in college football. He is dominating.
Yeah.
So
I know there's that big third down play for Alabama early in the game. Looked like Wisconsin had life, could keep the energy going. Ryan Williams end zone touchdown.
He
it
is
was
just so
nothing
good at
after that.
football.
And what blows
He's
my
really
mind,
good.
speaking of Ryan Williams, he was not the number 1 wide receiver in his class. I couldn't tell you who was. There was somebody else in front of him. I should have came into this with it
See, you
noted
can't
down.
look into those rankings that much. It is
No.
funny to look back on though when you see that,
There's
especially
always-
with people like DJ. DJ, you need to get a job.
Yes. But, Alabama looked great. They smoked Wisconsin.
Statement game, and now they get to go play.
Definitely a
Yep.
statement.
Like we were
game.
saying last week, here we have the highlights going. Alabama
They dominated.
they did.
And it was a little bit of a slow start for them, but
Yep.
Once
I was
Milrow,
really hoping that my pick could work out.
well, once
There's the
Milrow
touchdown
got
to
going,
Ryan
he
Williams.
didn't stop.
No, and
I mean, look at that ball.
I mean, they had me guessing in the first half, or really just I guess we could say first half. I was thinking a little bit like, man, Tyler might be onto something here.
I thought
but
I
then,
was.
I don't know what the hell went on in the locker room over halftime, but Alabama came out with a vengeance.
And Kalen DeBoer's doing a great job at
Great.
silencing the critics.
It's
That's
insane.
a game. That's a game where if you were not built for the SEC, you don't win it.
Yeah,
You
and
don't go on the road and beat that kind of team in that kind of environment.
yeah, I mean, I was one of the people who like went into that being like, I mean,
It's not Nick Saban.
It's not Nick Saban. It's hard to keep up the Alabama tradition, the
We would all be lying though if we said we weren't.
No, exactly.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
no one expected him to know it.
Everybody had that idea in
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
head.
exactly. And I think it's like kind of unfair to him. I mean, he did take a team to the national championship, but that was also not in SEC play. So that kind of gave me pause. But he's been proving everyone wrong.
Yeah,
right?
and you know,
I
he
do
looks
love
good.
that he tries not to be exactly like Nick Saban. And
Yes.
he's just his own coach. He
Yeah.
redecorated his office his own way, a very modern way. And he's just doing things his own way, and it's successful.
Yeah.
Like you said, he made the college football playoff.
Yeah.
like we were saying last week, we were discussing if Alabama goes into this pretty big game, I mean, we thought, and beats Wisconsin, that is a great stepping stone for Georgia in 2 weeks. And Tyler, you were saying, yeah, but what if they lose? I mean, yes, you were right. If they lost, that's a lot of momentum they lose as a team.
Yep.
And that would have hurt them going into
And
Georgia.
now it's the opposite effect.
And now it's the opposite. They have full momentum going into that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to look real
They have a bye week.
They have a
Yeah.
bye week. That's another
Or
week. to
they're
just-
not playing Georgia this weekend. They definitely have a bye. So.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Ryan Williams, and you mentioned that he wasn't the number one receiver in his class. He was actually third, according to 24/7 Sports. Jeremiah Smith, who
He's
is
very
at
good at
Ohio
football.
State.
He's very good at football.
He's damn good at football. And then Cam Coleman, who's actually at Auburn. So he wasn't actually even the number one freshman wide receiver in the SEC.
That's
But
ridiculous.
he's kind of silencing everybody right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
Speaking-
a team that's not silencing anybody.
honestly,
the team that's been silenced
Yes.
is KU. Losing to UNLV at home, starting off the season now with a 1-2 record, their only win over Lindenwood.
Yeah.
Barely a. What? They're not even D1. They're D2, aren't they?
No,
There's
they're
the
D1.
first- that was
just
their
they
first
just
game.
jumped. Yeah.
First game to win. They looked like a high school JV team, though. Like,
I mean,
there was
we're
probably
looking like the high school JV
They-
team now, though.
Yeah. Are they dead? Is KU dead? Like, are there hopes for a Big 12 championship?
I mean,
done.
I wouldn't say
no,
done.
because
I mean,
the Big 12 hasn't started yet.
Big 12 players have started. You're going into West Virginia this weekend.
that's a tough
Another
place to
1-2
play.
team though.
This is a do or die game for Kansas, in my opinion. They win this. My hope's not up there yet, but I'll start to believe a little bit. I mean, I was talking with our producer Case earlier today, and I was like, man, this sucks. You came into the season with such high hopes. I mean, I personally, I was thinking we had a chance at a college football playoff spot. And now I'd be happy if we make a bowl game. And
Yeah.
for that to even be a change, I mean, that's
3 weeks.
in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And the hard part too, Trevor, like what you were saying, like you want this to be the turnaround game. We're at West Virginia. This is like
And they played Penn State. They played good teams.
yeah.
And they've kept it
They
close.
did
with
lose to
those
Pitt last week.
But
Yeah.
it's not a
At
bad
Pitt.
team.
Yeah.
Pitt
But,
has a real shot at winning the ACC now,
I put
especially with all the
some money
stuff
on that
that's going
game, and
on.
I came out victorious. So
we go.
somebody read the script.
Yeah, right.
but I mean, I know Trevor, Tyler, and me were at the game. Jack, were you at the game?
I was not at the game.
We
You
had.
are lucky.
Yeah,
you were
didn't
very
miss
lucky.
out on much, man.
Watched it from my bed.
Good.
I wish.
Why I watched it from my bed? Don't ask me.
No, we were at. Yeah, it was a rough game. We were there. Not a lot of highlight plays. You know, KU started off so good, and then what happened
That
is
Jalen Daniels spin move in the end zone.
Yeah.
Like, guy,
For his first touchdown?
Very first, like, was it our first drive? I'm not
Yeah,
crazy,
it
right?
was it was a
First
3 and
drive.
out. I should have
We
sent
went-
the clips in. It
we
was a
went
3 and out, and then we go down and score.
We went score and drive, and I was feeling real good about our chances of starting hot, coming back.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week how the most important thing for KU in this game would be starting off hot, and I thought they did.
But
I thought they did. They didn't keep it up though.
The thing for us, I mean, it's been a pattern in these last 2 games for us. We come out strong, and we go dead flat in the second half. There is nothing we can do in
It's
that
like we're
second
not making adjustments.
It's like Lance sings him a lullaby in the locker room or something. I mean, I don't understand what happens. We look so good, and then we just fall apart. It happens. It happened against Illinois, and it happened against UNLV this past weekend.
and it's honestly frustrating because like we've all been saying, they looked good. Like we went into, I don't remember what time it was, but we were up pretty big. And I was like, we were right by the sideline. We were chirping their players. And the whole time I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. We're going to win this game. We're going to make their sideline look stupid. And then we end up, and the worst part was too, is that's one of those games where it wasn't a blowout, so it wasn't like a quick death.
No,
that
it
was
was
a
bad.
slow, and we watched it unravel. It's like watching something unravel and you can't do anything to stop it. So
And neither could our offense. Our offense couldn't do anything to stop the unraveling
and
either.
What happened too is both quarterbacks were holding their team back. Obviously,
It was a defensive game.
it was a very much defensive game, but
Yeah.
both quarterbacks, there was times where, yes, both quarterbacks looked great. There was times where each quarterback outplayed the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But really, in the end, both of them ended up hurting their team, I would say. And it was really
we need
the
to talk
defense.
about the offense.
That was
Jeff
definitely-
Grimes has not shown
He's not made a great first
anything
impression.
so far.
But also, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of it's on Jeff Grimes, but I mean, you got to hold Lance accountable for some
You
of
gotta
it at
hold
the very
Daniels
least.
accountable.
gotta hold
Especially
Jalen
Daniels.
Daniels
I mean, I wouldn't
accountable.
hate to see Cole Ballard as our starter against
There
West
were
Virginia.
some Cole
man.
Ballard chants brought
There were
out.
some Cole I
we
mean,
may
I-
or may not have jumped in on him.
I'm not
Alrighty.
fully out on JD right
No.
now, but
He's
let
a
me tell you,
playmaker.
I'm not fully in on JD
No,
either.
and what's made this whole season suck is the expectations we had at the beginning of the season were up here.
Mm-hmm.
And we go in and we smoke Lindenwood 48-3, as we should. They were like I said, I think there are some high school teams in this Kansas area that could beat them, and I don't think that's that crazy of a take.
I don't either.
I think we then go next week, Illinois, 23-17. And like we said, it's a Big Ten team on the road. To then go and lose to UNLV 23-20 at home.
A team that you just played in a bowl game. A
Like,
team that you know
a
more
team that
about
lost-
than they should know about you.
a
We
team
have
that
a
was
whole system
upsetting.
now.
Like,
it was upsetting.
It was not. I definitely had some choice words leaving that game with my buddies.
I don't blame you.
That
was
ended
not-
up being a game, like you said, Grant. It was close to the end, and when we didn't convert on that 4th and 12 after a holding call,
No.
another holding call,
Yeah, it was
we're not
not
looking like a
good.
disciplined team.
Well,
we got out of there. We
Can
got
talk-
out of there quick.
Can we talk really quickly about that spot? I mean, they
No,
moved.
what
What happened there?
What's
Does
the-
anyone know?
I'm even going to take it a little further. On the, it was like 4th and goal,
Mm-hmm.
and they barely got it. They brought the chains out, and then they gave
they
a,
moved
they
it
gave a
back?
personal foul penalty.
Yes.
Maybe I just don't understand the rules.
Maybe-
I don't see how you get sticks because it was a
Well-
4th down conversion to make it 1st and goal.
And usually-
they moved them 15 yards back after the play, so shouldn't it have been 1st and goal?
Well,
from,
it was
like,
a
the-
dead ball penalty too. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. So,
So I don't-
usually that shouldn't move them back. They
I
should
don't
stay.
understand
I
how they
mean,
got
I'm not.
sticks.
I'm not a referee,
No,
but
yeah.
that's kind of that messed with me a lot.
And
Personally.
maybe it wouldn't have mattered. Maybe they would have gone for it on 4th down,
Yeah.
gotten it, but.
Still, they
It
shouldn't
does
have
play
had
a
a first
factor
down
because then they get a whole nother first
Yeah.
down and then they get to punch it in.
Yeah, that
And
was-
that
that
hurt the
bothered
team.
me.
But
You're
you
right.
can't blame it on the calls.
No.
You
You're
cannot
right.
blame it on
It-
calls.
Not a very good outcome for KU, but let's play a game real quick.
Okay.
So Alex Orji will be the new Michigan starting quarterback this weekend.
He's played
right.
before, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has played.
Who's he
At
starting?
Michigan or?
As Davis Warren, he will be replacing Davis Warren. So Davis Warren is getting replaced after throwing for 444 yards in 3 games with 2 touchdowns and 6 INTs.
Yeah.
Somebody pull up Mr. Jalen Daniels' stats real quick and read them off to me.
You got it, Trevor?
Yeah, I got it. Jalen Daniels.
I imagine it's
sir.
pretty similar, but there's also different expectations, and I think I know where you're going with this.
You want the first 3 games?
I need the first 3 games.
All
I
right.
mean, no, yeah.
He's got 442 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
So for somebody like Jalen Daniels, who we all thought had the chance to win Big 12 Player of the Year and have this breakout season and lead KU to the college football playoffs, he's underperformed through these games. And there's just no justifying that.
And
He
I
has,
think
and
there's
he'll
an
tell you that.
explanation, though. I think there's an explanation.
Which
though.
is what?
I think he's trying to do too much. I think he sees the team, especially in the UNLV game, losing momentum. Lost. After that, losing momentum after a UNLV field goal, he goes and he tries to make a play and he stares down his receiver. He made a mistake and he's going to get better, but I think he's just trying to do a little too much.
It's
back
2
there.
games in a row.
He's got to keep it simple.
It's
the best
2 games in
quarterbacks
a row.
keep it simple.
I mean, and Leipold's talking about it. He's saying that he's still coachable. He's one of the most coachable players on the team. He's encouraging other guys. Like, he's not giving up. He said his attitude's there, his effort's there. his coachability's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jeff Grimes had a press conference today too and said today's practice was one of the best practices this season in terms of accountability and competitiveness and
Yeah.
just doing the right things. And so that's a good sign. But also,
Well, I hope
is
so.
that just
It
coach
can't
speak?
get
Is
much
that just
fucking
coach
worse
speak?
right now.
Well, let's let's take a look at the rest of their schedule, and we're just going to quickly go through this. We'll start with Jack. We'll go this way. Okay. At West Virginia.
I think we're gonna lose that game.
Okay, you did not
Win.
listen to the order.
Yeah.
I did not. Yeah.
Win.
Sorry.
I'm going to go loss.
I'm saying a loss.
I'm riding with my Jayhawks. I'm going win.
Okay. Versus TCU, so home game versus TCU.
At
Win.
Arrowhead.
It's Parents Weekend.
First Arrowhead game. No.
I'll go win.
Give me a Jayhawks win, but TCU's a good team.
They're a good team.
I'll give us a win on that as well.
Okay. At Arizona State.
Win.
I'm going to go win too as long as they don't party before the game.
That's a Scott Frost thing to do.
That is a
I'm
pretty
gonna say
Scott
win,
Frost thing to
but you
do.
already know how I feel about Arizona State. Don't be surprised if that's a loss.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I'm
Big
giving-
12 dark horse.
I'm giving us a win there too.
Versus Houston, so at home
I
versus
think,
Houston.
I think we all have the same.
Yeah,
answer.
I mean
Win.
that's a
Win.
win.
Hopefully.
At number 13, Kansas State.
I think we might all have the same answer
Yeah,
there.
I think
too.
we do.
Loss.
And I think
Loss.
we might have the same answer.
You
for
know,
next one,
before
too.
the season, I really thought
I thought this was
I thought
it.
it was the
this
year.
was the year.
I was
and
getting ready to go down to Manhattan to rush the field
I,
myself.
You might have
Yeah.
been the only one rushing.
we
the field.
Yeah,
we
you
might
might
have to
have
get
had
you
him
in
in the
handcuffs
clinic.
tomorrow or the next day, but
Would not be at the
I just don't have
podcast
any
on
confidence
Tuesday.
in us being able to win a game like
No.
that.
especially at Manhattan, I'd be.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
we've seen KU
Yeah.
or K-State's resilience so far this year. They went to Tulane, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
game wasn't as easy as they probably hoped it was, but
Yeah.
they were resilient. They got it done. And I mean, I just haven't seen any resilience from Kansas so far this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next week, at home versus Iowa State.
Win.
That'd be a big win.
I'm going to go loss.
I kind of like your thinking, Kenna. You're right a lot.
We need wins.
That's a big game at home at Arrowhead. I'm gonna
We
go
need
with you,
it.
Kenna. Against my.
I'm not
judgment.
giving up on our season yet, and I think we have a real damn good team. We just need a few more things to click.
Jeff Grimes was talking about rock bottom today, and I don't think we've hit rock bottom yet. I think it can get worse.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I mean, if we're rolling off these wins,
I mean,
think
it
we-
would be coming off a K-State loss, right?
I think
Yeah.
we come back with a vengeance after that K-State loss. However, I mean,
Well, we would need one, I think.
I like us going after Iowa State and taking home a win.
I think we get some momentum there to end the season.
Yeah.
At BYU.
Oh man. Oh man.
Come on, Kenna. Pick the right answer here. There's a right answer.
Win.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm going to take a win as well.
I'm taking a win, especially if it's coming off Iowa State.
I agree. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
going win.
Now, this one scares me.
Nope.
No.
Colorado.
No.
Kansas.
No.
Win.
Win.
Colorado does not look good,
They don't have enough dudes.
but look at the
Let alone
Jayhawks.
The only thing that
chemistry.
Look
scares
at the
me is we
Jayhawks.
don't have
At
a
least-
true
at least
edge
the-
rusher on Kansas, but I think that we will be fine. Our D line has got to be better than their O line, other than that 1 5-star.
All I'm saying is I could see this game being a 50-50 game.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
I
that's
could
fair.
see
It also
very
depends
well-
on
Our
who's
secondary
banged
hasn't
up.
looked great
Yeah,
either.
It depends on who's banged up. If Travis Hunter or Shadur
They
aren't
could
playing,
be. They could be done.
Yeah.
like Travis Hunter plays so many snaps of football.
Yeah.
If he's not 100% come this KU game, we win easily.
He survived CSU though. He didn't get a cheap shot, so
Well,
Got a little bit of a
he's
win.
lucky.
Okay, so you guys all said win. I'm saying like I said, I could see a win. I can see a loss. It depends on. I feel like it just depends on the rollout to that game, how we do. I feel like if
That's
we
fair.
if
It
we do
depends on
beat
who's-
Iowa State and we beat BYU, maybe we have enough momentum. But I think Colorado does have some star players, and I know KU does too. But
who are you picking? Who are you picking? Right now, off the head, who are you picking?
give me KU.
Okay, there you go. Let's go. Let's
All
go
right.
Kansas and Baylor.
Kansas and Baylor at Baylor.
Win.
Win.
Give me a win.
Give me a win.
All right.
I don't
sounds
want to
good.
say anything, but I did pick Kansas to win out. So
I think.
like,
no,
I think-
K-State, K-State.
Yeah, K-State.
Oh.
Every game except K-State, I picked us to win out.
Yeah.
I think
Would you guys be disappointed with a 9-3 season?
No, especially after the start. Not
Yeah.
after the start.
After the
Going
start,
into the season, probably.
I would have been
Yeah.
disappointed with 9-3 going into the season, but after this start we've had,
I'd be happy
Honestly,
if we made a
I'll
bowl
be
game.
I'll be happy. If
could
I
that
don't
get us
care
in the
about our record
playoffs
if we
with
beat
one Big
K-State,
12
to be
loss? If
honest.
we go off my predictions, and we have one Big 12 loss. Is that getting us in the playoffs?
Well, you got
It
K-State.
probably gets us in the Big 12 championship, but I
got
think
K-State
we
and
might have to
Utah,
win
though.
the Big 12 championship to get the at-large bid.
I agree.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
Because we're not going to be even with one Big 12
I
loss.
mean, we're
not
thinking
gonna be a top
Utah or
12 team.
K-State will be.
Well, you know,
If we have
You're
one
gonna have
Big
to beat
12
K-State.
loss,
You're gonna have to beat K-State to get into the Big
Yeah.
12 championship. 'Cause I think
Speaking
K-State
of-
will pretty much win out.
All right, let Grant talk.
speaking of K-State, number 14 K-State dominates number 20 Arizona 31-7 at home.
Yet another Tyler Brewer masterclass on that pick.
that
there.
was
Well,
also
okay,
a
that's
Jack
a
Kenna
lot.
masterclass.
That's a lot better of a
Masterclass.
pick than Wisconsin over Bama,
Yes.
if we're
Yeah.
being honest
Yeah,
here.
no doubt.
But, you know, K-State looked good. And I hate to say this about the other Kansas school, but they did look good. And
They
I
looked
was,
great.
I think I might have been on that Arizona.
You were on the
I think I was
Arizona
on the Arizona
bandwagon with me.
I'm pretty sure we all were.
Because
Yeah.
I thought, I couldn't tell you their receiver's name. It's something crazy, but
T-Mac.
Oh yeah, McMillan. McMillan, I was like, he's going to torch their secondary.
Yeah.
And Avery Johnson hasn't looked good yet. He looked great at this game. And what made it even worse is, while KU was struggling versus UNLV, you know, Jalen Daniels did terrible. Avery Johnson looks good. He looked good, and that's hard
Yeah.
to say, especially when you're
That
losing.
sucks
and so,
to say out loud.
but
Yeah.
They definitely
That
made a
sucks to
K-State
say
definitely
out
made a
loud.
statement there. You guys know who one team that didn't make a statement this week? I mean, maybe they did, but for the wrong reasons. FSU going 0-3 now against Memphis. Now let me read you some stats. And these have been, if you're watching the game, you've already heard them, but
Is Mike Norvell?
Mike Norvell has had
Working at McDonald's?
0-2 starts in 3 out of his 5 years at FSU.
He should
Prior
be
to Mike
fired.
Norvell's tenure at FSU, they had never had an 0-3 start in program history. Now they have had 2 in 5 years in the Mike Norvell era.
He needs to be fired.
Could we be seeing the end?
He
of Mike
needs to
Norvell?
go.
You
Even
go back
after last season.
You go back a couple episodes. I was a big Mike Norvell. How can they fire him? I mean, I'm going back on that. This is definitely a quarterback thing too, in my opinion. But
DJU just does not look
no,
very
he
good.
doesn't.
Is
But
FSU
you got to
gonna make a
coach a
bowl
better
game?
team.
No. You look at their schedule and the way they're playing, no
Look at
way
where
they make
were
a bowl
last
game.
year. That's insane.
If
That
I'm
did
being
not even make
honest,
a bowl game.
I love that because I could not stand their fan base after when they were just complaining an entire offseason. A little part of me is kind of happy to see them not do an 0-3 start.
Hater.
I mean, I am. I absolutely am.
Well,
But
and you know what's even crazier is they're 0-3 at home. They are at home.
No, they had the Ireland game.
Double, but they were still considered the home team.
And that-
Obviously, it wasn't
Like,
a home environment.
Do you guys think
0.
Mike Norvell was drinking some Guinness on the sidelines?
I think he was
Without a
drinking
doubt.
more than Guinness on the sidelines
Oh
after
my
seeing
God.
that performance. I think he
So-
probably still is.
You know what though, Mike Norvell, as sucky as it is to say, I hope you get fired, and I hope you get hired at Kansas as the offensive coordinator because we need some help here in Lawrence.
What?
Kansas.
I don't want him.
We need
I
some
don't
help.
want him.
No,
He might not be a good head coach, but can you get Cole Ballard to take us to a national championship?
Guys, we need to check Tyler on
Yeah.
his sanity real quick.
I
We
mean-
might.
Listen, I'm a Husker fan. That being, you know,
Why did
There's
that?
number 2.
I'm a
Why are
Husker
you
fan.
always talking about the
I'm a
Husker?
Husker fan.
Let's
I know how to
clip
buy-
that.
I know
Clip
how to
that.
buy hype.
How can
buy
you
into
get
hype for bad teams? No. And I'm doing it with FSU, and I'm going to do it with KU.
Okay, well, FSU plays Cal next or this
Tallahassee.
I think it's
No.
a loss.
weekend, and they're at home.
I don't
They're
think they're
favorites, though. They're 2-point favorites.
Have they not been
I'm betting
favored?
on
I'm gonna
Cal.
hammer Cal.
betting on Cal.
Because you know what, like we said, I think it was the first episode of this podcast. We were talking how, you know, yeah, they might have lost to Georgia Tech, but if they keep their head up and if they get into momentum, they're now 0-3. I think all that next game mentality out the window.
I don't want to cut you off, but I remember first episode we talked about Florida's schedule and we went around the pod and said, "How many wins do you guys think this team's gonna get?"
I think
we said 3
Really?
total wins all year. They're
Do you remember-
0-3
do you
because
remember who
I
those
remember
were?
the two.
I think Cal's a win.
I remembered us talking about it and we said their next Boston College. We said that was a win.
they don't play Boston.
Or
College.
No,
Yeah.
what's, like when
they did.
Yeah.
Oh.
We said that was a win and we said Memphis was a win.
Well, then who?
So we have
have
Cal.
no.
I think-
no,
You
it
know
must
what,
have been
though?
4.
You know what, though, Jack Kenna?
Because they play
Charleston Southern. But like all I'm
Okay.
saying is we had a little belief still in this team to at least get a few wins, and now it doesn't look
play,
like a
they
win.
got to play Florida at the end of the year. Someone has to win that game. Both
They have
teams
to
look
play.
bad.
you're
They
right.
have to
Teams
play
look bad.
Mom's
Clemson.
game of the week.
That might be Mom's game of the week.
Oh, hell no.
Rivalry week.
They have to play 21 Clemson still, number 8 Miami, which is
That's a loss.
Bad.
That's a
Chalk
loss.
it.
That's
and
a loss
number
by like
17
Bench
Notre
the
Dame
starters
and Florida. I think I'm out on them. They're
I'm
not
out
making a
on.
bowl
I'm
game.
out on Florida State too.
They just did not.
They'd
look
be
good.
thrilled. I mean, did you see their attendance like towards like the second half? Their entire upper bowl was empty.
I feel bad for all those students who have to sit there with dead expressions and go like this.
They got paper
Yeah.
bags. They got paper bags over them now.
Like it's
They're
just
doing the same.
It's sad
terrible.
stuff. And we go from that sad game to a pretty fun game. LSU South Carolina was a fun watch on
Yep.
Saturday. I know I was only able to watch a little bit of it. The bit I did watch, it was a fun game.
It was an amazing finish to a game. I loved watching it.
Well, and this is just going to bring me to a point. I was talking with someone about who I thought was more entertaining, college football or the NFL, and I was saying, I think the NFL is more entertaining because
Better players.
better players. And and somebody said, I don't remember who it was, but it was a reporter. They said it is so hard to watch a college kicker kick a game-winning field goal because that's not a lock. Like
No.
anything
No.
past.
But you're telling me you don't love that a
No,
little
no,
bit?
I do like it.
Yeah.
because there's uncertainty with it.
There
You
is
don't know
a-
what's gonna happen.
Oh, but
That's
it's
the best part.
scary.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's
But-
horrific.
and it's so. Can you imagine being a South Carolina fan and having your kicker go out there and miss that field goal? Now, obviously, yes,
That was a
the
deep
kickers in
field
the
goal,
NFL do miss, but it's so much cooler to watch them miss like a 55-yard or like what did Chiefs kicker? I can't think of his name.
Harrison Butker.
Harrison Butker. What was that like one they were gonna try? It would have been the
It would have been a
Would've been
67-yard field goal
67-yard
Field
for the
yards.
record by 1 yard, or it would have
That's
been
awesome.
68, but it would have been
That's
the
awesome.
record by 1
Well, the
yard.
best part was that, I mean, I was like, he might hit that.
I didn't
Did
know
you
that.
guys see
Because in
the
the NFL
Brandon
now.
Aubrey attempt?
How far was that?
Like I thought that was like
Oh,
70.
It was 71, I think.
It was.
wasn't it?
I'm getting it over here. Can you do that again, real quick, Case? A 70-yard attempt.
That's
Thanks, Case.
insane.
Yeah.
Cowboys,
That would have
Cowboys
been,
analysts.
and they didn't let him kick it. They didn't let him kick it. They blew the whistle. They called timeout. They did whatever they had to.
Yeah.
But why not? It was at the end of a half.
Go for
Let
it.
him kick it.
Go
I
for
think,
it.
I think,
Oh, that would have been so fun.
Yeah.
I think
Case,
the
I know you
Arizona
wanted him to
Cardinals
kick it
last
too.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals 2 years ago tried a deep field goal, came up short, and it was kick 6 right before half. So
Matt
good,
Prater.
Go
Yeah.
Jags.
Yeah.
There's good explanation for
I wouldn't
why.
be
But-
saying that much.
Trying.
Oh
We'll
no,
get into that later.
Trust me. But yeah, staying back on the college track, you know what game was not fun to watch? Georgia
Whoa.
at Kentucky.
You tell me you
What?
don't like seeing Georgia
What?
struggle? You tell me you don't
That
like
game was
seeing-
so
that-
boring.
It
It
was
was
boring.
so boring. That's what I'm saying.
How could you watch that game? Don't sit here and tell me it's fun to watch
I
Georgia
didn't watch
struggle.
it.
I love watching
I
Georgia
was
struggle
busy.
just as much as you guys do, but that can't even be a fun game to watch.
No.
I have
Even if you enjoy watching Georgia struggle, that wasn't a fun game to
I have a
watch.
friend who goes to Kentucky, and she was telling me, she was like, I mean, I was,
She?
yeah. I was like, she said she was like, she was so bored that entire game. She was just thinking about like, man, I can't wait to leave. Like, I was like, I don't blame you. I mean, if I was sitting there, I mean, I got bored watching some of that Kansas game,
Oh my
and that was
gosh,
a
yeah.
Well, that sucked
was
too
a
because
good-
we weren't able to even see the game. We're watching on the jumbotron.
Shout out
here.
Children's Mercy Park, man.
So
yeah, that was rough.
A few episodes back, we were talking about Mr. Man, Carson Beck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I made a comment saying that he's a good quarterback, and after further review, I am going to take that comment back.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm retracting that statement. I'm a man to come out and admit when I'm wrong. And Carson Beck just
He's a good game manager.
not
Sometimes.
really. What can he do
Yeah.
that's really good? What can he do that
He can-
possibly
you know what? When
reminds
he
us of
hands the ball
Stetson
off,
Bennett?
He looks
When,
so good.
when he's not a part of the equation, man, he looks great.
When they're on defense, he is phenomenal.
He's got the Gatorade bottle on the sideline. He's drinking it.
I
Oh my
could do
gosh.
if that was his job. I could do it, and I could do it damn better than him.
Yeah, right.
Could Jack Hennessy over the Georgia offensive line?
Probably not. There's some big dudes on that line. I don't think, and I would be scared too. Like walk out with all of them, I'd be shivering. I'd
Just
drop.
being
The,
in
Yes.
Athens,
No.
you'd hate to be a pedestrian in Athens.
I would actually hate to wear football pads.
mean,
so
I'd hate to be walking on
saw-
the sidewalk in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, that's
you might,
rough.
yeah, you might get,
You know who I would
you might
not,
get hit by a car.
You know who I would not hate to be though? Arch Manning. Oh my gosh, the backup quarterback who ended up.
Yeah, I'm
coming
clapping
in
it up
and
to that. That was a performance.
Read those stats off for us.
Okay, so Texas beats UTSA 56-7.
That's a lot of points.
Arch
of points.
with 5 total touchdowns, 223 yards, and here's the kicker: on 9 for 12 passing. He also had, I think, a 55-yard rushing touchdown where he reached.
Oh my
a
gosh,
faster
that was-
speed than Tyreek
I got a
Hill.
question. I got a question for you guys.
Give it to me.
Can a Heisman contender
needs-
lose his job as the starter?
No. He
No,
won't.
you're not
Could
going
he?
to lose it. He's not going to lose it because of injury.
But-
could we see a situation like
If I'm Marcus Freeman, this is me right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll hand him my card.
That's what I'm saying.
My credit card. I need him. I need him to be wearing a gold helmet next year.
I mean, buddy, I don't think he's leaving. I don't think Texas
However
would let him
much-
go.
however
Give him all the
much it
NIL
costs.
money.
He's already talked so much about how he's loyal to Texas, and he went to Texas because that's where he wanted to play. He's
Yeah.
not leaving.
No, he's not going to leave.
Okay,
Oh,
let
but
me ask,
man.
let me
Somehow
ask you a
Quinn
question.
Ewers
How
finds a
much
way to
money
stay.
would you pay to have?
I'd give him
Arch Manning?
I'd give him my entire NIL budget. I'd give him it all.
I'd give him
Imagine
around,
Arch at Kansas.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be awesome.
I'd give him it all.
I'd buy him free Wendy's whenever he wants.
Yeah, I'm sure Arch Manning went to 3 fucking Wendy's.
Fine, you can get Chick-fil-A. We'll splurge a little.
Okay.
Okay, but anyways, back to what we were saying. I don't know if you guys did. You guys watch the game?
No.
I
wish we
caught
got those
some of
clips.
it.
Did anybody
I
get
watched-
that clip of the Arch Manning
I don't think
touchdown?
we
Oh,
got
we
that.
should
We got
have.
a lot of NFL clips.
But I
Not a lot of college
I
ones.
watched those Arch Manning clips. He does not look like a backup at all.
No.
At all.
No.
The
He's-
fact- I
he
mean-
threw this. It was
No, he
his
doesn't.
last touchdown of the game, probably 20 yards out, and he throws a go ball to his receiver, perfectly placed back corner of the end zone into his arms.
He is so good.
I'm a Bo Nix believer, but I need him to be
God.
wearing a Denver Broncos hat.
That's not.
I
You're
need
telling.
it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I
you're,
need it.
You're telling me you take Bo Nix
I
over
need-
Arch
You're still a
Manning?
Bo Nix
I
believer?
need.
What happened
I
there?
need another Manning in a Broncos jersey.
We are gonna ask Jack that question when we get to the NFL.
We are.
What happened to Bo Nix? But right now,
We'll get there.
You know, you were talking about how much you'd pay to see a Manning in a gold helmet. What do you have to say about Notre Dame's just
No.
insane win?
After
That was a big
after
statement.
their weekend against NIU,
They needed something.
I took my victory hat off.
Yeah.
I almost hung it up. I almost said this team isn't cut out to play real college football. But you know what, guys? I'm back.
Ooh.
Notre Dame Fighting
Producer's
Irish.
not gonna like him putting a shadow over his
We're
face.
back.
Yeah, right.
I'm putting the hat back on. Notre Dame figured out what they needed to do.
He
to
took
win
it right
games.
back off.
No, the hat. I'm back. Notre Dame figured out what they need to do to win. All right, and here's what they need to do to win. Run the damn ball. That's what they did, and it worked. Notre Dame, 362 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, they looked. I mean,
That's how you get it done. Riley Leonard finally figured out he can't throw
Yes.
the ball and he needs to run
Yes.
it, and he did. He looked amazing running the football. Notre Dame looked amazing. Their defense played amazing.
it's Purdue.
It's Purdue.
It's
See,
Purdue.
Big
Yeah.
Ten school.
Now,
But
you know,
wow.
They lost to Northern Illinois. Or
we
Northern,
have,
yeah.
we
Yeah,
have this
yeah.
on the script here. Does this win speak more on Notre Dame or Purdue? And I just want to know,
That's a
how would this
terrible
win
question.
speak on Purdue, or how would this loss speak on Purdue? I think Notre
When you
Dame
get
earned
dog
this.
walked by that as a Big Ten school with all the money you get.
Yeah, but
it's
Purdue is
great
not a
look.
Big Ten football school.
No.
Purdue,
They
but
have
the thing
never
is,
been a Big 12 football school.
Purdue looked really good week 1. By week
They
2.
did.
By week 2, you come in week 3, you got Notre Dame coming off a loss.
That was just terrible.
Hudson
scheduling
Card-
right there. I don't know what
Hudson
that was
Card looked really, really good week.
He did. He absolutely
He
did.
looked like a Big Ten quarterback.
But-
And they're running it back. They ran it back with them. They said, we're going to give you year 2. Most
Yeah.
of their offense, they have a lot of returners.
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back.
yeah.
And
And they
Purdue
didn't look
fans,
awful last year.
Purdue fans were very, very disappointed watching the effort from that Purdue team.
Yeah.
Because it was
They
non-existent.
gave.
They gave up.
Yeah.
It is kind of hard when you kind of look at some of that and you just see your team getting smoked.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
man, they didn't give any effort.
no.
And this game, as much as I am a Notre Dame fan, speaks more on Purdue because they're disappointed coming out of this one.
Yes, I
And
absolutely agree. I don't even think it's a question.
Anybody who had a little bit of Purdue stock sold it, or I hope they sold it by
Someone
now.
bought Purdue stock?
Yeah.
Why?
All I'm saying,
Why?
Take their credit card away. They
Yeah,
do not
right.
need to be buying
Do
Purdue
not
stock.
let them go.
all I'm saying is that was a disappointing game. Notre Dame looked really good, but Let's do it against somebody. Let's do it against NIU. Bring them back. Let's rerun that game.
All right, well, we are going to jump into the AP poll here, ladies and gentlemen. You guys want to pull up the AP poll?
Yeah, I got it pulled up here.
There's one big thing we need to talk about in the AP poll. New number one.
New number one.
And you know what?
They lost their starting quarterback.
Yes,
And
exactly.
they moved up to number one. What do you guys think about that?
I think, honestly, you were going to see it with how Georgia played against Kentucky.
Yeah.
But Quinn Ewers going down and Arch Manning playing as good as he did is really what solidified that. Because now you know you have two
Yes.
amazing NFL quarterbacks. Quinn Ewers will make a team. He probably won't get drafted too high, but he'll make a team.
Well, the thing is, you couldn't tell.
That's true. He
You
is
couldn't
good,
tell.
and the quarterback class is weak.
The
Any other
quarterback
year,
class
though.
is weak, and I saw a mock draft putting him in like the first round.
Really?
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick.
Interesting.
The Raiders
I was
are
bored
gonna
in
need a
class.
guy.
I don't necessarily hate it, but I don't necessarily love it
All
either.
I'm going to say is while Jack's looking that up,
was gonna
you
say.
couldn't tell the starting quarterback was out
No.
at that game
No.
at all.
No,
If
you
you
couldn't.
were a casual fan and you turn that game on and you see Arch Manning doing that, you'd be like, oh, yeah, he's a starting quarterback.
Yeah. Yep. Which
Yeah.
is
Insane.
That's,
And you know
that's
what?
great.
So in this mock draft, I'm using the Draft Network,
Okay.
and
Great
you guys just
citation.
want to take a guess on where Quinn Ewers is.
I'm going to say in the 20s. Go 24.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like high teens, probably like 15 to 20 around there.
20 is not a team.
Before 20, buddy.
Okay.
I'm just going to say this because nobody has, and I feel like we could be surprised here. I'm just going to say top 10. I don't think it's going to be, but I just think we're going to be surprised. I'm going to say top 10.
Okay. Well, he was number 2.
That's
New
who's
York
won?
Giants.
Who's won?
Kelvin,
To the Giants?
Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle from Texas.
To
So
who?
Texas would get
Who's
1 and 2.
projected number one?
Carolina.
Yeah,
they-
no, that makes sense.
We're
And
going
then
to
the
have
Giants would get Quinn Ewers,
You're
but they're
saying no.
paying Daniel Jones so much money.
Out of
so-
curiosity,
Yeah.
we'll move on from it because this is kind of off topic. But what's 3? Better be Travis Hunter or Shedeur.
Abdul Carter, Penn State edge rusher.
Where do they have
who?
Travis?
They have Travis Hunter, number 5.
Okay.
They have T-Mac, number 4, to the Denver Broncos.
All right.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is, again, we're 3 weeks into the year, and we're looking at mock drafts.
I was gonna say that's gonna change.
Depending on how this Quinn Ewers injury actually is, well, I guess
But
we'll see
it's nothing.
You know,
later in the year.
I think one of the most surprising things in the AP poll is Ole Miss top 5. They're number 5.
They've been up there.
They have been. They
Yeah.
were there last week, but still, Ole Miss.
I'm kind of
I
surprised
didn't-
Alabama didn't move.
I'm
up at
surprised Alabama's not the number 1 team in the country after
That'd
that
be a
Georgia
stretch.
loss
Yeah.
and that huge dominant win
I
at
think-
Wisconsin.
I
all. I
like
think
that.
Alabama.
Because
should
right
be
now,
top
some of these
3,
top
but-
teams haven't really played anybody.
No, yeah.
And so, I mean, Georgia did play a really good team, Clemson, week 1. But, I mean, like, Alabama dominated at Wisconsin.
Yep.
So why not just throw them up there, especially with the Quinn Ewers injury?
Yeah.
But that Ole Miss team is really good.
Well, you know, I think the Georgia-Bama game, they both are going into bye weeks here.
Yep.
They are getting ready for a huge game, and I mean,
That's
I'm
gonna be
excited for
That's
it.
going to be the mother must-watch game.
Yes, the
Next week.
Georgia next week when Georgia plays
Oh, that's-
Bama, that is
gonna
going
be
to
a
be
war.
that's really what it is. Both teams, they took a bye week. They're like, we're gearing up, and we're going to walk in, and they're just going to try to mess. You know, I want to say it, but we're on air, so I'm going to say mess stuff up.
Yeah.
But you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean.
Yep.
Maybe if we didn't have cameras on us.
But then, you know, we got
Yeah,
Tennessee.
expectations now.
We got Tennessee at 6, Missouri 7, Miami 8.
Like, as you're kind
Kind
of
of
going
surprised
around this.
Missouri went down
There's-
after the Boston College win, though.
Yeah, they didn't look amazing,
But it's a top 25
yeah.
team.
I mean, there's not a huge amount of fluctuation though in between this. You have some teams going up 1, some teams dropping a bit, but like there's no like huge like
Yeah.
up 8, up 10. Like we kind of saw those first few weeks.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean,
And,
speaking of fluctuation, I think the game of the week, in my opinion,
Another must-watch.
Illinois, Nebraska. I think one of those 2 teams will break into the teens after this game. In my opinion,
That's a bold.
It's a
that's
bold take.
prediction.
I mean,
bold
That's a
take,
bold-
but
I
I
don't
think
even-
it'll happen.
You know,
I
I don't
like it,
think
'cause that
that's
means
not-
Nebraska wins the game. So
I don't
like
think.
that.
Yeah, I don't think that's that crazy of a take.
No.
Purely because Nebraska is already 22, so to get into the teens, all they need is to jump up
That'd
like
be
what
2
three
ranked wins for
spots?
Illinois.
and I mean,
too,
Michigan's
so
at
yeah, big
18
thing.
and they
Exactly.
play USC.
Yeah.
So that's one team that can fall out of the top 10. You have Oklahoma, who's at 15, who plays Tennessee, which is a top 10 team. I mean, we have some pretty. I mean, Utah at 12 plays Oklahoma State.
You're gonna see some movement next
There's
week.
a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're gonna see a lot more movement next week than we did this week.
So you're gonna see someone drop out of the top 25 and someone go up to the teens probably, like Trevor said.
Yeah.
Illinois, Nebraska. Is it It's Rayola's true first test. How do you guys think he's gonna do?
I love how we said Rayola's true test was Colorado. That wasn't a true test.
No.
I mean, as much as I
That was his welcome to college football
as
moment.
much as I was really hoping Colorado would come up and at least participate in a football game that night, this is his first true test, and I think he's got a really good opportunity. Nebraska's 8.5-point favorites when we check that spread on ESPN bets.
Yeah, it'll probably fluctuate throughout the week.
It will definitely fluctuate.
I think it'll shrink. I think Illinois is gonna.
Really?
I think
I think the spread will definitely shrink.
I think the money's. I think
Yeah.
the majority of the money's gonna be put on Illinois.
Do you think that the
cover
spread's
8.5.
too high right now?
It definitely opened up pretty high, and Illinois is not a bad team.
Would you bet Illinois right now? If it's
I
still
hate
8.5.
spread bets, but I would take Illinois to cover 8.5.
Yeah.
Well, let me
I
pull
don't.
up
I don't
the new
think. I don't
spread.
think it.
You guys
8.5.
chit-chat a
8.5.
little
You're
bit.
saying that's two possession game.
I don't know. I
It's
feel
not
like
gonna be a
I feel like
two-possession
that's
game.
what it will be. I mean, I think Nebraska is a good football team, and as much as that pains me to say, knowing you are going to be thrilled and hold that over my head for the next week, I think they're a good football team, and I think Illinois looks good, but I mean, I think Rayola is the real deal, man.
Aki's saying
I'm
it.
just
It's
worried.
7.5. It's already lowered. If
Really?
it gets to 6.5, I'm going to hammer Nebraska.
Yeah, I like that.
I think Nebraska could win that game by more than a touchdown. Dylan Raiola looks good. 670 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 INT. He's a fun college football player.
I'm very
I'm not
nervous
a
about
Nebraska
that game.
fan. I'm a Nebraska hater. I'll say that publicly.
Big
I
Creighton
have
Blue Jays
never
guy.
denied that I'm a Nebraska hater, but I can't help but almost smile watching Fatty Mahomes play.
Yeah, right.
It's fun. He's
You
a
know
fun
what?
player.
I think Nebraska did a amazing job of setting their schedule up to help him.
Oh, yeah.
He
100%.
starts
Oh,
the
yeah.
year
Yes.
off with 4 home games as a freshman. That's
Unheard
4
of.
home games to get yourself settled in. You knock the rust off. He is now, and then they go at Purdue. That's
Better be a blowout.
Yeah.
Not as
Like-
bad as Notre Dame did, but
as your first away game going to Purdue. That's
I don't know.
I
you're
think
pretty
Nebraska-
confident after watching what Notre Dame did
Yeah,
at their place.
you've got to be pretty confident.
now
you'll
I
win
will
that
say
game.
it's notable. Micah Mizuka, maybe I'm mispronouncing his name, but it's one of Nebraska's better offensive linemen, especially with some preseason injuries. He is not going to play in the Illinois-Nebraska game. That could hurt Nebraska's front. Illinois does have a good defense, and the big thing for your true freshman quarterback is giving him time and giving him time to make a decision. And I feel like you're gonna see him get rushed and fluctuated a lot. They're gonna try and get after him and force him to make bad plays, just like what happened with Jalen Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So-
taking a look at the next game, number 12 Utah at number 14 Oklahoma State. That's got great game written all over it.
Holy
It's Battle of the Big 12.
battle of the ages.
Yeah.
Starting quarterbacks.
Cam Rising's expected to play, and Ollie
That's huge.
Gordon had a bad week last week.
But also part of
Gordon's
that,
out
part of
for
that
it.
is just because Tulsa's whole game plan was to stop him, and then Oklahoma
100%.
State aired it out.
100%. 100%. Right now the spread's Utah -2. I just looked that up right now as you guys were rambling.
Glad we
What
could give
would
you
you
some
guys?
time.
What would you? Thank you, Tyler. What would you guys bet right here? I'm taking Oklahoma State money line.
Oklahoma State money line. I feel like that's the safer
It's
play.
Utah -2. I just genuinely think Oklahoma State will win this game.
I do too. It's at Oklahoma State.
If they lose, my dad's gonna clip me. But I think Oklahoma State can straight up win this game. Dad, hammer it right now. Oklahoma State
know what?
money line.
I'm a cursed bettor, and so you always have to fade my picks. With that being said, I'm taking Utah here to win the game.
Thank God, that makes
So
me
if you
feel
want to
better.
fade the picks, now's your chance.
Do you actually believe that, or are you just saying that?
I
to say that?
absolutely
No, he
believe that
does.
Utah's a better team. They're just better all around, and I think they're going to be able to stop all
I
of
think
Gordon up front.
Cam Rising didn't play last week. I think he'll struggle a little bit.
Maybe
I
a slow
hope-
start, but-
I'm hoping Oklahoma State can just keep this momentum going.
Yeah.
I don't think this game's going to be a shootout.
What do you think, Grant?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. I mean, they're at home. Ollie Gordon had a bad game. Obviously, Utah's not going to write him off, but I think he's due. I think he's due for a big game.
Yeah.
I'm sure as
I
hell
agree.
hope they don't write him off. He's the best running back in college football.
No doubt. I don't hate that at all.
So, I mean, yeah.
All right, well, taking a look at the next game, we have number 6 Tennessee at number 15 Oklahoma. Give me Tennessee.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Oklahoma's wake-up call. They're not an SEC team.
No.
They're not ready for it. The lights are going to be too bright. Tennessee is dog-walked NC State, who I think is a little worse than Oklahoma, but not that much. Tennessee's going to go in there and get it done in Norman.
I think the spread being -7 is atrocious. I am taking Tennessee spread every day of the week. I think it at -7 is insane. I think Tennessee is going to dog walk the living daylights out of Oklahoma.
I'm going to cheat off Grant's computer right here. They have Tennessee, Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss coming up. And then they have Maine.
Go Maine Black Bears.
And then they have Missouri, Alabama. This team's just not cut out for SEC football. I'm going to take Tennessee. I don't like the spread being as high as it is, but I would still, if you put a, I don't know if I can say that on TV now. If you put a water gun at my head and say, pick a spread, I'd go Tennessee with you guys, with you guys.
That one's getting clipped for the
I'm sure you guys didn't know what I was going to say there. I probably scared you guys a little bit.
A little bit.
I was a little scared. All right, and then our last game
Nice
of the week.
Ace, I saw that.
Number 11, USC at number 18, Michigan. Michigan, we've talked about them before. I just don't like that team.
They shouldn't even be ranked in my
Alex
opinion.
Orji,
I
you
know
started
that's
whoa,
crazy.
It's the big house. Are we
whoa.
really writing them off like this?
Thank
I
you.
am.
Thank you,
You
Jack
can clip
Kennedy.
me. You can
It's
clip me.
-6.
Look
It's
at the
still
camera.
clip
Look
ball.
at the camera and tell the camera.
They will be unranked
No,
by
look
the end
at
of the
this
season.
camera. Look at Cam 2 right here, and you tell them that the defending national
The
champions
defending
are
national
dead.
champions are dead. They will be unranked
Okay,
by the end of
that's
the season.
fair.
That's
Fair argument.
stupid.
Fair argument.
That's
He can have that
stupid.
argument. 6 points is a lot of points in college football, and it's at the big house.
That's
We saw
stupid.
Texas go in there and dog walk them, but Texas isn't US.
Texas number one team
Texas
in the
isn't
country.
USC.
USC is still better than Michigan. I don't care who's their starting quarterback.
Do you know who USC starting quarterback is?
No clue. I don't care.
Miller Moss, baby.
Name me a player
He's
on
really
USC.
good.
I can't, but I can't name you a player on Michigan
Hey,
besides
listen,
Alex Orji.
USC
Will
is a great
Johnson,
team.
the
It's
best
because I just
quarterback
said
in
it
college
earlier,
football.
and it's on your script. That's how you can name Alex
Alex
Orji.
Orji played before. Come on. I'm not that much of a casual. You got to give me something here.
Listen, take Michigan money line.
No.
Take Michigan.
No.
They're at home.
What did he say about
They're
5
at
minutes
home.
ago? He said fade every pick he puts
But I'm
down.
never going to give you a pick. I don't give. I will never give. I will never give a pick. I do not believe in. I believe in Michigan. They are the. They have
And
the
he
best.
just said, fade all of his
I
picks.
know his picks.
Fade
That's
the picks.
awful.
Fade the
That's
picks.
awful.
Don't
I'll
bet
make the
this
money.
guy.
I'll make the money.
Don't bet this guy.
I'll make the money.
You can
I'm
make
going to
the money.
laugh in your face on Saturday when you lose.
Sure, I think 6 points is a lot, especially going to the big house. But USC's way better than Michigan. Sure, whatever you want. I'm staying away from this game betting, and I say that
I hear
until
Connor Stalions is
Saturday.
back.
And I say that until Saturday because then I need to make all my money for my tabs.
Chase the
Great
losses.
upset
Chase the
pick.
losses.
Great odds. It's
Sure.
Great odds.
Fine.
All right, we are
So
f-
let's go real quick. Mom game of the week. I know
Illinois,
we already
Nebraska.
talked about it a little bit, but we need to have a confirmed mom game of the week. We'll put a stamp on it
Yep.
for my mom and for all the moms back home.
Illinois, Nebraska.
Illinois, Nebraska.
You go.
If we're all going to say Illinois, Nebraska, I agree. If we're all going to go with that one,
Let's roll with it.
Yeah.
I'm in
Illinois,
for it.
Nebraska.
Let's do
B
it.
Team Sports mom game of the week is Illinois at Nebraska. Stamp approved.
Go Big Red.
Just transfer.
Get out of here. Go moms. We love all the moms out there.
Well, we also love the NFL, and let's get into
What
that
a
now.
heater of a transition.
Sure as hell.
This is the meat and potatoes of our script. I mean, we took a long time with college football.
Probably
but
longer
I mean,
than you guys wanted to. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
let's-
looking
we
at
gotta
this
just
script-
get right into this.
Yeah, we gotta
Bills
get going.
dominate the Dolphins. We've got a video up there of James Cook going off for 3 touchdowns. Then that brings up the point. It's going to play up here. Is Tua okay? We are going to
No.
see it here soon.
You showed
Right
you
here.
put the clip on?
Oh wait, it's not on there.
You cut it out.
We cut it out. Okay,
He
good.
did have it. He put it. It's a,
There
go to
was-
Media Crossroads.
Okay,
Watch
but
Run It Back.
can I just start off with saying, Tua, if you are for whatever reason watching this,
Thank you.
why are you lowering the back of your helmet at a defensive player. What are you thinking?
DeMar Hamlin,
I
get
mean,
back
no,
game.
let's not take the
Miami.
low-hanging fruit and say it's DeMar Hamlin.
DeMar
Let's
Hamlin,
know-
get back game.
What is he thinking? Like, as a quarterback that
It
struggles,
was a bad slide.
as
It was
a
a bad
quarterback
slide.
It was
that
awful.
struggles with brain injuries.
Well, I mean,
He had the right idea. He was trying to slide. He just didn't have a good slide.
it's the
He didn't have a good slide.
fact
He
that
didn't
they
make up his
had
mind.
a preloaded package of his concussions ready to go like that. That tells you enough about where he is. I personally, I'm not an NFL guy,
Say
not
it.
an NFL doctor.
Say what I want you to say.
Dude, he should get out of the league, man.
Thank you.
He's got it. I mean,
I 100%
Like,
agree with Trevor
if
here.
you've got a family to maintain.
He's got a future. He's never
No.
gonna have to work a day in his life.
No, he's
It's
been
not
paid,
that important.
He's
It's
been
not.
paid millions of
It's a
dollars.
game.
There's
It's
no
a game.
reason for him to keep. I mean, one more. I mean,
who
you
knows?
don't, you don't
the
know
thing
where
is,
he's at.
Who knows if it's one more?
Yeah.
it could. Like,
It could
he's
be a
meeting-
regular
He's
tackle.
meeting.
That's not even counting all of the ones he could have had, concussions he could have had in high school,
Yeah.
maybe ones in college.
Yeah.
He is
And
having.
how many times do those big dudes get hit, and they get a little fuzzy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've seen interviews with players where they're like, you hit a game, and there's times where they're like, what happened? And they're like, dude, they black out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spew a little lore.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Talk to me.
Freshman year, Jack Kenna throws on the pads, throws on the helmet. They go to a rival high school for a little summer camp. Middle linebacker, as a freshman. Don't want to toot my own horn,
Scary middle linebacker.
but run play. He comes across. I'm following it with my eyes. I'm following it with my hands. I'm going. I'm shuffling. I want to make a tackle. Laid on my ass by a pulling guard. No, I sat on the ground, face down, and I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And if freshman Jack Kenny can do that, so can you, Tua. It's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game.
It's a game.
We applaud your effort. We love it. We're also not here to tell you what to do. Nobody is. We're not you. Obviously, I don't want to speak for anybody else here, but we probably haven't given any half a percentage of the effort that you gave to football.
Yeah.
Like, we know how much that means to you, but also you have to look at your health and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. If I was Tua, I mean, he just got that big contract too. He's got guaranteed money,
And they love him.
And they love exactly.
love
And
him.
they're not just gonna throw you to the side.
And they're not gonna throw your name in the mud.
No.
Nobody will.
People will start saying Tua was one of the biggest what ifs, and I don't agree with
No,
that.
because he's
but
had some years in the
been
NFL.
great.
Yeah.
He's been
He's a good NFL
Okay.
quarterback.
but
He's all right.
He's a good NFL quarterback.
He's all right. It's
I'd-
not like
I'd
we're
rather
losing
have
Tom
them than
Brady
a-
if he retires.
But I'd rather have him than a lot of other quarterbacks we got in
Well,
the league right
I
now,
agree.
so.
I agree.
All right, well, jumping back into it, the Bills, they look good. And no, I take that back. James Cook, you
James
looked
Cook
great.
looked
He looked
He's
amazing.
their whole offense. He's been for 2 weeks now. Josh Allen, can we give Keon Coleman a chance here? My fantasy team kind of needs it, dude.
My
Yeah,
fantasy
right.
team kind of cooked in one of my leagues. I'm in 5, but one of them cooked.
Well, speaking of a good game, the Chiefs and Bengals, they matched up, and that one just had, I don't even know how to
Oh,
describe it.
gosh.
Watching that last, probably 4 minutes? The whole time I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here, don't give it back to the Chiefs.
Yep.
It's
We
gonna
all
end.
knew it.
Yep.
We all knew it.
Everybody.
Once they touched the
Everybody
ball-
watching the game knew it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not kidding you guys.
Good filter.
Great
When
job.
the last play of the game on that PI, I sat there and everybody knew what was going to happen.
It
He'd
wasn't
make a
hard.
play. He'd make a play.
It's
It's Patrick Mahomes.
it makes me upset. Like genuinely.
I'm a Broncos fan. It makes me upset knowing I know they're going to make a play.
It's ridiculous.
And they did.
It's ridiculous.
They did, and they do.
He's so consistent
They
with that
always
every
do.
time. Yeah.
I mean, week 1, their play was maybe because Isaiah Likely's foot's too big.
Yeah.
But they still made a play.
Yep.
And they do, and they continue to do it. And it makes me frustrated as a Broncos fan, but as a fan of football, it's kind of cool to see.
Okay, well,
Damn it, I said it. It's kind of cool to see.
no, take it back. It's not too late.
Oh, I hate the Chiefs.
Hollywood Brown and Isaiah Pacheco, they look like they might be out for the year. I think I saw somewhere where Isaiah Pacheco's 6 to 8 weeks.
I just don't believe that with
I
this
don't
injury.
either.
I
That's
mean-
why I wrote on the script so everyone knows he's probably done for the year.
this-
I'm
that
a
was
Chiefs
you?
fan. I saw what his timetable is. I think he's going to try and come back. I think you got to think about his health in the future. especially as a running back.
We care
I
about
don't
health
think-
too much, maybe as NFL fans, right?
Well,
Yeah, right.
I think
Yeah,
I
let's see
think
some
I think he
games.
can, I think he might be back for playoffs, but I say
Maybe.
season.
They're
is
not making
regular
playoffs,
season.
man.
Oh,
No.
shut up. Your
I'm
Jags
just-
are
I'm
0
kidding,
2.
I'm kidding,
We'll get
I'm
into
kidding.
that.
I'm kidding.
Well, the Cowboys sucked. Shout out Case.
Yeah.
Case,
Gosh.
Alvin Kamara dominated.
absolute
game.
masterclass by the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I threw down like a $1 bet, just money lines, and I'm going into that game. No, Cowboys.
Cowboys
Yeah.
Click the money line.
I was thinking easy money.
I did it too.
And what made it even worse is I'm watching one of these NFL reporters, and they're talking about their underdogs of the week, and this I don't remember who it was. It was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I
give me
know.
the Saints, give me the Saints," and I'm like, "No way."
Yeah.
We both
No,
looked at each
we
other.
both
when-
look at each
when
Do we
they
other.
have
said
a
that.
graphic for this?
I think we do have a yes. You know,
Alvin Kamara.
Case
But
has got to be having a great time behind the board here.
He's
watching.
crying.
Yeah, make sure you
right
look at
now.
those clips real close there, Case.
You see how
I
he just
mean,
walked into
let
the end zone
Jerry-
right there, Case?
Let Jerry know what you think about
Oh.
that. He
But-
turned them off.
but I mean, I'm sitting there listening to this reporter say, "My underdog of the week is the Saints," and I'm like, really, once you get on the TV, you can say whatever, and she's just
Yeah.
saying whatever.
Look what
and
I do.
she proved it.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I mean,
But
wow.
I
okay.
picked, we all picked the Cowboys, right? Like, we're not
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
here.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us picked the Cowboys.
But also, the Saints were coming off a
Huge win.
against the Panthers, though, and it was the Panthers.
But
It
that's
was
what we were
expected.
saying. We were saying it's the Panthers. How much can we really believe this going into week
And
two?
now,
I
now,
like Derek Carr stock.
I
Oh,
love.
somebody say that again. I told all my roommates. I said Derek Carr's a good quarterback, and they laughed at me.
I like Derek
mean,
Carr
He's
stock.
a good quarterback.
He is.
Who are the MVP candidates right now? Sam Darnold, Derek Carr,
Oh, stop
and
with that.
I mean, it's 2
It's
weeks
week
in. It's
2.
2 weeks in. But
Sure ain't Dak Prescott after that
no, but
performance
tell me
we
I'm
saw.
wrong. If the season ended today, Sam Darnold and Derek Carr they'd be up there for MVP candidates if it ended today.
Yeah, thank
They have
God it doesn't end 2
outperformed
weeks
all
in.
of our
Well,
quarterbacks.
Yeah, right.
I think Clint Kubiak, the Saints offensive coordinator, is going to be a head coach next year.
Duval, please.
Yeah, I don't
He's,
have that.
he's
begging.
great. They got the team 15 for 15 on scoring drives.
Yep.
Maybe that changed. That's just what I saw when I
Yep.
did it.
But I mean,
that's
I
just
saw that stat too.
that's insane. As an NFL team, especially, that's
15
insane.
for 15, and like
Fun offense.
that, like that just calls for an entertaining game. Watching that game, knowing like, oh yeah, we have a very high possibility to score this next drive. That's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And you literally have to go into it as the other team of, my defense might not get a stop. We
Let's
need
just
the
hope
offense
we
to
get
be
a
as
field
close
goal.
to perfect as we can get.
Well, yeah, you just gotta hope to cause a field goal. And even then, like, yeah, field goals aren't touchdowns, but still 3 points.
Yeah.
Still 3 points.
Better than nothing.
Yep.
A game that made me lose brain
A
cells.
lot of 3 points in this game.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
game that made Jack Kenna lose probably 3 brain cells was Raiders Ravens.
You're only down to like 1 then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, that was a bad.
It's such a bad
Big upset,
game.
though.
I was
it was a
just-
big
I'm
upset.
glad-
It was
though.
a huge upset.
I'm glad the Ravens lost, purely
I'm
because
not.
it makes
That
me
money-
feel
I had a lot of
better.
money.
Do we want to roll the package too, Case? There we are. Lots
goal
of
number
3
1.
points in here.
We're showing all of the field goals in
This
this
might be
game.
Well,
the
you
rest
know,
of the
we can
show.
just talk through it, and I think a good point to talk about while it's playing is who's more likely to get a wild card spot in the AFC West. Basically, who's more likely to be runner-up in the AFC West, the Raiders or the Chargers, and why?
The Broncos. No, I'm
Oh,
just joking.
Jesus,
I'm
no
joking.
way.
I'm joking. Chargers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Even though the Chargers beat the Raiders, you're right.
Yeah.
I really do like the Chargers.
Yep.
I like Justin Herbert, even though everyone's saying he doesn't really have weapons. He's always kind of been a pretty solid quarterback, and I just feel like maybe now he doesn't have high expectations on him this year.
Yeah.
So this is finally a year we can kind of come out and just play football.
Yeah.
I really like your points there, especially when you consider that Herbert, when he got thrusted in that starting job, had no expectations and had a great year. I think, did he win
then he
Rookie of
had-
the Year?
I think he had like
He had Keenan Allen, Austin
Yeah.
Eckler, Mike Williams. So everyone's like, you got weapons, use them.
Yeah,
And
I
now
mean-
those weapons aren't there.
Now we just got to hand the ball to J.K. Dobbins and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Well,
That Joe Alt pick is shaping up to be a great pick.
Yeah,
Everyone was
I mean,
bashing
everybody
the
was
Chargers.
bashing
we
on
all
it.
would have known that was going to be a great pick, though. I mean, I would have. I watched him play.
I was about to say,
every
I
game
sure
last year.
didn't. I was
I
watching
thought
the
they were
draft.
getting neighbors.
He was
Yeah.
easily. I understand your point.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to comment on something like that too. I'll let you go first before I start rambling.
I think everyone going into the draft was like, oh, the Chargers lost all of their offensive weapons. They have a good quarterback. give him a target.
Yeah.
And they went with to protect their target
Yeah.
rather than to give him something. Which, I mean, like we said, he's looking amazing. But
We overlook the offensive line way too
It's
much.
the most
and they're-
important
Yep.
position in football, and they got a left tackle, which is the most important position in football. You need somebody to protect that blind side. And Joe Alt's the best one that they could have gotten, and he was the best one in that entire class. So they made a great pick for what they wanted, and I mean, I love watching my Fighting Irish do good in the NFL. So.
Yeah, well, speaking of teams that aren't doing good in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars blew it in the second half against Miami. Came out flat in the first half against Cleveland. Grant, let's not go 6 minutes today.
I'm going to make it short and sweet.
Oh, God. Start the timer.
You said that last time too, yeah.
I'm actually going to make it short and sweet. Again, you don't use you spend a first-round pick on a receiver, a great receiver. He's shown that he's really good. You don't use him. Start the second half. You use him. They look good second half. I turned the game off when they got that safety. They almost came back. There was a dropped Hail Mary in the end zone. Obviously, I'm speaking. You got the clips playing right here. You know, ETN looked okay. He didn't look too good.
You made this look like the Jaguars won the game, though.
No, because they have 0 points still.
Well,
But
you're showing some good plays for him, though. I respect that.
the highlight of Trevor Lawrence went into halftime with 16 passing yards, I believe.
How can
What?
you do that?
I can't even say it on air. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I mean, I'm just gonna
Short and sweet, by the way.
look at that
Yeah,
catch
right.
by Brian Thomas Jr. Though. That's what you love to see out of a
All
Jags fan.
right.
But anyways, it was a rough game. And it was just not a fun game. And the Jags, their problem right now is coaching. It's
Yeah,
coaching.
That
It
brings us into
absolutely
the
is.
next point. I saw you and some other Jags fans are kind of losing faith in Dougie P.
It's, well, I mean, okay, so there was some people questioning it because the offensive coordinator, Press Taylor, is
Sucks.
not good. And Doug Peterson, for some reason, has been like, no, he's fine. It was last year, it was our defensive coordinator. So we got a great defensive coordinator this year.
Yeah.
Coming to this year, obviously it's the offensive coaching staff. That's the problem. After the game, post-game conference, Doug Peterson, he's just sitting there. I don't know what we need to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looked mad. Not like mad. He looked like he was
I would
checked
be
out.
mad if I lost to the Browns.
No, but he.
Yeah,
I
right?
misspoke
I
there.
feel like everybody would be.
I misspoke there. He didn't look mad. He looked checked out, and it's week 2, and I hate to see that. And so I hope I'm on the thing where let him finish out the year. If he does good, keep him. If he does mediocre, get rid.
Yeah.
Jump ship. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done.
Yeah.
It was not 6 minutes this time.
Yeah.
They
I
got
guess-
42 today.
Yeah,
There we go.
does anyone
go.
else have anything to add about that?
No, I got nothing.
All right,
we talked
well-
last week.
Yeah.
I said I got nothing, and then I had something to say.
Oh, okay. Well,
We talked last week about Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
You did take Deshaun Watson. It was me and Trevor who took Daniel Jones.
Yep.
And he beat you guys. Does that kind of hurt to know that we were picking between two terrible quarterbacks and one beat you?
It does, but what makes it a little
start the timer.
it's going to take me 15 seconds. We were missing 2 of our 3 starting cornerbacks. Buster Brown came in. He
was
started
your
and he
MVP.
looked
Yeah.
amazing. Yes, he
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
gotten beat, but he was making some good tackles. He looked good. And so I want to see him maybe start working with the starters a little
Yeah,
more.
well,
Yeah.
Buster Brown looked good. Bo Nix looks bad.
Bo Nix.
Jack,
Yeah.
that's your rookie
Awful.
of the year
Well,
pick.
before you get into it real quick, I'd just like to say, not only does Bo Nix look bad, the team chemistry looks even worse.
There's no
Roll
chemistry
the
on that
clip.
offense. But I'm just going to come out and say it that I don't want to put all of this, Bo Nix looks so bad, Bo Nix looks so bad. That offensive line was so dog ass.
Brother, yeah.
It was bad. The Denver defense has always been pretty solid. Always been maybe, I would say, above average.
It's expected in Denver to
They've
have good
always been
defense.
an above average defense, but man, the offensive line looked terrible. We couldn't, he had no time to do anything, and when he did have time, he made bad plays.
Man, I hate
and that's
to
just how that's the script of the game. There was nothing really good about that game. From
I
the
hate
Denver
to
side.
say it. I mean, I see similarities in the Chicago Bears with the Denver Broncos, and that makes me real upset.
I think there's a
Well-
lot of similarities between the Broncos, the Bears, and the Jags right now.
Can we
because-
talk about No. First of all, on that, Caleb Williams has some damn weapons.
Yeah, he has some damn weapons, but he doesn't have an O-line either. I don't know if you watched the Sunday Night Football game, buddy, but it didn't look good.
Your weapons of
Our
Keenan
weapons
Allen,
are
Rome Odunze,
our weapons are a
All
lot
right.
better.
DJ Moore are a lot different from Cortland Sutton. All right,
I don't
and Greg
disagree with you.
Dulcich,
I don't disagree with
who
you
dropped
at all.
5 passes.
Your points
on
that you
Sunday.
made, that all I'm saying is the points that you made for the Denver Broncos were the points that I saw a lot in the Chicago
I agree
Bears
with
as
you.
well.
Offensive line.
I'm not
from both
comparing the
teams
Bears
was
to the Broncos
horrific.
by any means, but
Offensive line from both teams.
yeah,
were horrific.
not
We're
good
having
at
a
all.
bad
And that's what you were
off
trying
right
to
now.
say.
Yeah,
That's
what I was trying to say.
But I just really wanted to.
Yeah.
well.
Hit me while I'm down. Go
Let's
for it.
let's move
Well,
on to the.
Speaking of down, sorry Tyler, I'm gonna take this transition.
You
from
got it. You got it.
Jordan Love is down. He didn't play. Malik Willis comes in.
Good transition. I'm glad you took that from Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't have anything like that.
You know, Malik Willis, he looked like a solid backup. They won the game. They beat the Colts, and
Those assholes in Indianapolis.
because you know what?
Assholes.
It's Anthony Richardson, and I've said this from day one. Anthony Richardson is not a good quarterback. He has not been a good quarterback, and people see his highlights, and they're like, yeah, he's pretty good. He's good on fantasy because he can run, and that's about it.
I hate
How many
that
interceptions did he – you hate it?
I'm not the biggest fan of it.
No, yeah.
He is not a stellar
he
quarterback.
dropped an
For the
80-yard
audience,
pass
Grant
in
Shear,
one.
Grant Shear only
can't
hates
just
quarterbacks
run.
that get compared to Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
He's
And
never been compared to Trevor Lawrence. He's just an in-division
He's in the
rival.
AFC South,
So I hate
and
him.
so-
I'm not gonna sugarcoat an in-division rival.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those soft
I'm not going
NFL
to sit
fans.
here and lie. The Colts are assholes. Put a lot of money on the Colts to win.
Start Jason Bean.
I put
okay?
a lot of money. He's not even on the team.
Yeah.
I put a lot of money on the Colts, and they let me down.
I feel like they're known for that, though. I mean,
looking back
that's
on
Colts
it,
football.
why did I do it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Self-reflection, man in the mirror. I had to wake up the next day, look at myself in the mirror, and say, I'm down money
Yeah.
because of the Indianapolis Colts. Why did I do that?
You know, you might be down money, but Bryce Young's down a starting spot.
Yeah,
He's 2 for 2 on the transitions now.
Yeah, he's cooking today.
That was pretty good. That was a little fast, but I agree.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal transition.
But, like,
you're getting good at this.
Bryce Young, I stand by it. He is not the problem.
No.
No,
And they gave how long has Daniel Jones been a starter in the
so
NFL?
I let me interject here. Let me interject. And this is kind of off your point, but Bryce Young, and they said it today, he was not benched because of his performance. Bryce Young was benched because the team around him is not capable of competing, and they don't want to hurt that future rounder. Not future, sorry. That former first rounder again.
Where did you
So
see
they're
that?
completely halting all of his experience.
Where did you see
Yeah.
that?
I
Why
think
would
that's
you
terrible.
Why would you put a quarterback out there that has no O line? It's literally a danger to him.
Because
The
it makes no
season
sense.
isn't like over.
It's
I
weird
mean,
too.
They have no expectation. They want
It
the number
makes no
one pick.
sense.
They
they're
want
gonna
the
get
best
it
line.
either way. You might as well give your quarterback something
makes no
rather than
sense
him.
to
He
No,
should. I'm
nothing.
a big proponent.
God, I hate
I don't know the word.
That's a
but
terrible
I
take.
hate
I love it when quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks
Did
specifically.
he make that up?
Yeah, he did.
No,
Where
I
did you-
didn't.
Where did you see it then?
I'll pull it up after the podcast. for
Sources,
you.
trust me, bro.
Let me finish
Yeah,
my
come
point.
on.
He's looking at it right now. But anyways,
He's trying to Google
like
it.
I was
Okay, no,
saying-
let me finish.
Okay.
You guys made me lose track. But Bryce Young, I am a big proponent, I'm a big supporter, there we go, of rookie quarterbacks sitting their first year and learning. And
I get
Bryce
that.
Young did not get to do that. Don't screw it up. Do not make him the new Zach Wilson. Do not
nothing wrong
force
with
him
Zach
to
Wilson,
start
man.
and make mistake
Zach
after
Wilson
mistake.
I was about to say,
and
don't
lose
Zach Wilson loves
confidence.
being a third string.
Okay.
So-
well,
I bet he loves being Alex Moran from Blue Mountain State. The fact is, he's an NFL quarterback. He was drafted in the first round. Zach Wilson should have been better, and the Jets failed him. Don't let the Panthers fail Bryce
There's a
Young.
little bit of a difference, right?
Say it.
Like, Zach Wilson actually wasn't good at football,
Yes.
and Bryce Young was.
Yep.
here's
Like,
what okay, sorry.
I'm with you guys here. It's
You
not
can keep
his
looking
fault
around. You're not going to
necessarily.
find that
I'm
quote.
gonna find it.
Like,
but
it's not his
don't
fault
worry about it.
necessarily.
Yeah,
The
I
team
agree.
sucks. But also, I'm going to stand with the Panthers here. You got to get some new blood in there.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
been such a bad year. Throw Andy Dalton in there. He's thrown the football a few times, a fair few amount of times.
Yeah.
let's get something new. If it doesn't work,
Spice it up.
throw Bryce Young back in there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt anybody.
And I will apologize now. The source I saw was not with the Panthers or really in NFL. It was someone who does a role like us on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm
Go
sorry.
figure.
Source, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now, I'm going to actually list a source, a proper source. I listen to a podcast every day, the Sleepers Media podcast, and they talked about Bryce Young. They said, if a team or if the Panthers were going to drop Bryce Young, would anyone even bother picking him up? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cut him?
Yeah. If the Panthers cut Bryce Young, I don't know. They both said no because he was small.
You think the Raiders wouldn't go take
That's
Bryce
what.
Young
All I'm
right
saying
now?
is, all I'm saying was like disagree with their take.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna be picked up. No one's
100%,
like
no
Zach
doubt.
Wilson.
He'd go
got
start
picked
in
up.
a week at some other
Zach
place.
Wilson got picked
Name
up.
a place
Bryce
where he
Young-
would start.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
The
Okay,
Raiders.
name it.
No, Gardner Minshew looked good.
Gardner Minshew looked okay.
Didn't they?
Okay,
They
but
won.
Are you
Not
going to have a
really. They won more
quarterback
'cause
who's
their
0-2
defense.
and has not looked good at all?
I would
come in
take
and
a-
start
I would take-
over
I would-
Gardner
Over
Minshew?
Gardner Minshew has a sick ass mustache. No,
Oh
he's not
my
taking
Minshew
that.
mania, baby.
He's
Shut
not taking that starting spot from Gardner Minshew.
The Vikings upset the 49ers at home. What are some takeaways from that game?
You know what my
Transition.
takeaway is? You have terrible transitions.
Yeah, that was aggressive right there, man.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest. He was done with that
I'm
last
done
conversation.
with the Bryce Young talk. It's
Reading
stupid.
straight
Now-
off the script.
This was bad.
This was awful. I was stunned.
Bad
Stunned.
balls.
I
I
could not
think I
believe
also
it.
had the 49ers. I think I might have
We all
gone
took-
over on my bet.
I
I'm
think
being
I
so
did.
serious.
I think I
No.
did too.
I thought you were going to talk about your picks.
I mean, yeah, no.
you're
Like,
number one.
this
I
was
know I'm
this was
number
bad.
I remember. Oh, I hate to interrupt you. I'll let
No,
you finish.
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say I remember at 11 a.m. picking my parlay for the day, my $2 parlay. I didn't hit one. It was a bad day to be Jack.
I went 2 for 8 on
on the
mine.
betting app.
You know what? I think the takeaway from today's episode is do not listen to a word we say because obviously we are not.
Except for
Especially
me.
about sports betting.
Listen to me. I'm
do not-
always going
no,
to get you.
get
I
out
won
of here.
$100 over the weekend. I won $100 over the weekend, and that football team is undefeated. That football team is undefeated. Better team than the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Notre Dame would
In terms of
dog
record.
walk
What?
Nebraska.
Yes, I'm just
Oh,
saying
shut
what's
up.
what he
Let's
said.
stay on topic.
Vikings 49ers. What did we think?
Justin Jefferson again solidifies why he is the #1 wide receiver in the NFL, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
it's
no.
close at all.
He got hurt though, right?
He did get hurt.
He got hurt. He
Ball
said it
college.
was nothing serious, though. He said it was
He'll be.
nothing
Yeah, he'll be.
He
He should
looks
be back
good
next week.
Yeah.
with, and I think one of our Minnesota Viking friends said Justin Jefferson makes Sam Darnold look like an MVP caliber quarterback, and that speaks. That has.
You gotta
levels
give.
to
You
it.
gotta
That's a
give
correct
something to.
take.
You gotta give something to Sam Darnold, though. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
but-
played
really good.
He's
He
been
has
looking
played-
good.
He has
Are the
looked good, but
Jets just a bad team for
It helps when you
quarterbacks?
have the best
Yes.
wide receiver in the league.
I mean, definitely.
They're getting
it
Jordan.
does.
They're
He's
getting
got
Jordan
weapons.
Addison back soon too.
He's got weapons. Sam Darnold's looked really good, actually. I remember coming into the locker room, said something along the lines of, like, "Why'd you cut me?"
Yeah.
He's upset.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's played like he's upset. He's
Yeah.
bawling.
He's coming with some fire,
Right now.
man.
Now,
He looks good.
Somebody who hasn't been bawling is McCaffrey. He's been sidelined on the IR.
My fantasy team hates this.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
are
What
2-0 though.
what are we thinking about that? Are we thinking it's
I
gonna be
think-
4
I
weeks
saw-
and he's activated again, reactivated?
I saw
and
on
then-
I think it was the NFL. I don't have the exact source, but this time it was a way more reputable source. That
Trust me.
Bring
that-
your sources.
Yeah,
this was
come
the
on.
Pat McAfee
Just-
show. This was the Pat McAfee show. It was Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show, and Adam
Command
Schefter.
C, Command V.
Adam,
buddy.
well, it's hard to when it's a video, but Adam Schefter brought up a former player, and I am blanking on who that former player was, coming back from Achilles tendonitis, what CMC has, and they said that they rushed him back, didn't give him enough time, and he tore his Achilles, just like tore it. Worst case scenario, and so the Niners got to
Can you
err on the
find this
side of
player,
caution.
please?
Sounds a lot like
Oh
James
my
Robinson.
gosh. Is not
I
James
believe you. I
Robinson.
believe you. I'm not saying I don't, but
Saying, oh my gosh, like that wouldn't be a phenomenal piece of
I
information
think-
to have there.
I think that CMC is not the only worry for the 49ers.
I don't disagree.
No,
I
they did
think
not lose the game because they
Debo
didn't
is
have-
out now for let me.
yeah, he's out for a while, a little bit at least. I was kind of a believer in Brock Purdy.
I was too.
Like I was like, he's not that bad.
No.
He's not he's not a bad NFL quarterback. A lot of guys are saying he's got weapons.
They
and
were
I
my
was
Super Bowl pick.
Someone's still got to throw him the ball.
Yeah,
That's kind of where my head was
can't-
at. But after watching that, after kind of watching that game, I'm like, oh.
I don't know how I feel about him. Yeah.
I mean, it was a home game for
I'm
the
not giving up.
Vikings.
I'm not
It was a
either.
home game for the Vikings, but still,
I mean, yeah. Come on.
yeah, I don't know. It's
I love that we're all kind of in agreement here.
Yeah.
and what I think is funny is a lot of people, including myself, because I was high on J.J. McCarthy. I thought when he got hurt, I was like,
Yeah, you were real high on him. I remember getting into an argument with you on draft night saying he was going to be the best quarterback ever or something like that. What did you say?
no, I did not
J.J.
say
McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy was
No,
gonna be the
but I
best.
do have. I had the bookmarks.
He has a tweet. I said he was going to be a
That,
good.
that account might be lost. But
I said
we'll
he
see
was
if I
going to
have
be
the
a
bookmarks.
good quarterback, and I still think. And
I wouldn't
still
have
think
argued
he
with you on that. He is going to be a good quarterback.
I didn't. There's no way I would have said he was the best quarterback in the league. There's no way. If I did say that,
We'll see.
I had a
Yeah.
little
You
too many
said
funny.
You
funny
said he was
drinks.
probably going to be rookie of the year.
I think that's what it was.
Well, the way Sam Darnold's playing, he could have.
Right.
It's not crazy, but anyways,
Someone who probably won't win Rookie of the Year is Drake May.
Yep.
Because he's not playing.
Yep.
The Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots had one of the more interesting games of the weekend. That was an OT thriller. My roommate's a New England Patriots fan, and I think they punted on 4th and 1. So he was a little upset in OT. So the Seattle Seahawks did get that one done. What are you guys thinking about this entire game? DK Metcalf got on the scoring sheet a little bit.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about all that?
I think the NFL this week was very, very exciting. And the
fun to
fact that
watch.
we had an overtime game, I think maybe the first of the year, and it's kind of barely being talked about at all, is just a testament to how great the NFL is. With that being said, I did not watch this game much, but I'm still not sold in the Seahawks. I just don't believe in them that well, but I'm starting to buy a little bit of that New England Patriots stock. And the fact that they
yeah.
kept it close against this team, that Seahawks will probably make the playoffs unless the Cardinals get it together.
all I'm going to say is the Seattle Seahawks are first in the NFC West. They are
Yeah.
over the Cardinals, 49ers, and the Rams.
Cardinals
won't
look really
last.
good, though.
That wasn't on my rap sheet, let
That
me tell
won't
you.
last.
That's insane.
It's
What I-
not going to last, but I'm just telling you, they are number one in the NFC West right
Yeah.
now.
What were you
I
saying?
don't really want to just come out and say it, but I'm name dropping here. I don't even care. My roommate, New England Patriots fan, already talked about him a little bit. He said something along the lines of maybe Bill Belichick was the problem. And now before we kind of get started, that's an insane thing to just upright say.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the last few years without Brady. Just kind of saying like maybe Bill Belichick kind of like hung it up.
Well,
He didn't really want to do it
yeah.
anymore, and his philosophy might be a little outdated. The New England Patriots do seem to be pretty good right now. I mean, maybe punting on 4th and 1 from the 50 or wherever they were in overtime probably wasn't the
Not the
play.
best, yeah.
But, I mean, they didn't look terrible, and they're kind of winning games with what they got. Jacoby Brissett,
Yeah.
you know, quarterback. None
I
of us
like
would
him.
have expected them to win Week 1 against Cincinnati, and they played.
They
all
showed
right.
it wasn't a fluke win.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they showed that
they're
they
a
can grind
competitive
out
team.
wins.
Yeah.
I think them and the Jets this week will be a fun game.
Oh yeah, maybe a fun game that I won't watch.
Yeah.
but a
That's,
fun game.
that's what I
maybe.
was thinking too.
Sunday Night Football was a disaster class.
We do have time limits.
I
Trevor,
chopped
so
up-
Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
chopped up a little bit of a clip for us.
Oh, did you really?
It's coming up. Don't worry. Here it is. Here it is.
CJ Stroud, sophomore slump. I called it.
CJ Stroud.
You did call it.
Love that Tank Dell had
It
a great
just
game,
wasn't
though.
a really good game to watch.
No, it was not. I think I probably fell asleep even as a Bears fan in the third quarter. Neither offense was really doing
How
much.
many funny drinks did you have?
Nothing actually, believe it or not.
You probably should have then.
Yeah, it was not a good night to be a Bears fan. I personally just that O-line made me so unbelievably upset to watch. I think Caleb Williams will be a great quarterback.
He will be.
I don't think that's an insane thing to say.
No.
And it made me so unbelievably frustrated. He had
Oh, here's his INT. You might want to watch this.
Hero ball.
Triple coverage.
I mean,
what are you thinking?
It doesn't help.
Valentine,
I'm not trying to
Valentine.
I'm not trying to cover by any means for Caleb Williams. He didn't have a great game, but he looked better than he did the first game, and that gave me hope. But when you have
That O-line was bad.
he was pressured on 36 out of 37.
I showed a clip right there of
36
him running the ball.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah. 36
Gone now.
36 out of
Last good
37.
play of the game.
That's insane. And I mean, he couldn't find a wide receiver. I think Rome's got a lot to do as well. I mean,
needs
there was a touchdown pass
needs to
there.
adjust a little bit.
In the first 2 games, there was a touchdown pass, and I think obviously you got to get used to the NFL. But I mean, come on, like you got picked 9th overall. You should be able to come into it and play to a certain caliber. And I don't think he's been playing there.
And Jack, I'll let you make your point real quick before I transition.
Joe Mixon got hurt in this game.
Yeah.
Texans didn't really look all that, ready to go. Do we think that's a lot to do with Joe Mixon's absence, or are we just thinking they didn't really come out and play all that good?
You know what? I'm going to say it right here. Obviously, the Texans are 2-0 and they're atop of AFC South, but I don't think this is the Texans team everyone thought was going to happen.
No.
I think everyone was coming into this year thinking Texans are going to be AFC favorites.
Yeah.
I don't think they are. And that's not even bias.
AFC
I think,
favorites?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
You still think they'll
no,
win
no,
the
no.
South, though, right?
It's week
should
2, you
win the
can't say
South.
anything.
Oh.
But I do not think they're the team everybody I said, I even bit the bullet. I think I said they were going to, but I just don't think they're that team.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
I don't
Jack
disagree.
Kenna's talking about silly juice over here. Someone who drank a little too much silly juice before the game was Saquon Barkley dropping a huge pass on 3rd and goal to kind of cost the Eagles a little bit.
Not where I
from
thought you
being
were
able
going there.
Yeah.
think
Cost them from
that
being
was
able
funny-
to put the
funny
ball away.
transition.
Yeah, right.
His transitions, he might be off the silly juice.
I'm a little tired right now.
I was,
have to wake up early.
This is a later podcast than we're used to.
Yeah,
filming.
this is
yeah.
late.
So-
But
no,
we got
going-
the nice studio.
Yeah,
so
right.
Again, thank you.
Thanks, Cal.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you,
Cal.
Cal.
Going back to the game, however, I didn't watch any of it. I had a splitting headache, and so I was upstairs laying in bed. But I got a text from
silly
Tyler.
juice.
it was a Monday night, man. I got a text from Tyler, and he texted me and he goes, like, "Yo, did you watch the game?" I said, "No. Like, what did I miss?" And he goes, "The Falcons won." And I thought he was kidding. I was like, "Dude, there's no way. Like,
Especially
you're messing
when I
with me
just
right
had
now."
you update the tally, which
Yeah.
we do have the tally graphic.
We'll show it in a second.
Yep.
Show it
We'll
in a
show it in a
second.
second.
But
You're right. Good calls.
I was stunned. I mean, there was not a single part in my head that was like, yeah, you know what? I'd give the Falcons a chance. I thought the Eagles were going to win by a lot. I mean,
I knew the Falcons' defense was a little underrated, but I didn't think they were going to be able to stop the Eagles' offense, specifically Saquon Barkley, as well as they did. And
Yeah.
I think the last drive for Kirk Cousins, putting the team on his back and throwing it to, by the way, Darnell Mooney, who last podcast, you, and you all said, who? It's Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney helped carry that last drive. Darnell Mooney is a major
Shut the
reason
hell
why
up.
the Falcons were able to drive down the field at the end of the game and win that game.
You're off the silly
With that
juice.
being said,
He is off the silly juice.
Kirk Cousins showed why Atlanta went and got him.
Finally.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's
We
week
waited
2.
for it last week, and looked very good.
Well,
He had a great game.
He told reporters he's not 100% yet. He's not 100% out of the pocket, and that shows. He was out of the pocket. I don't know about week 2. Week 1, he went outside the pocket one time.
yeah.
One time. And that's scary being a head coach, because if something happens and that pocket breaks, if he can't move,
Bang,
that's an
yeah.
auto sack, if
Yep.
not an auto fumble.
Yeah. Before I can't let this slide any further. I just can't. Best part of that game was Drake London's celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy Riz. Holy Riz. That celly was so tough. AJ Brown.
He got flagged for it though, didn't he? Or was that?
Yeah.
Was that?
Oh,
Hurts?
definitely. You can't make.
No, he.
He aired it out.
Yeah, you can't make gun
Gestures.
hand signals. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
But it was tough.
Not in Atlanta.
Oh, Lord.
Not in Philadelphia.
Just as bad.
You can't do it anywhere.
Can't do it.
AJ Brown. I mean,
He's sidelined for a couple weeks with a
Sidelined,
hamstring issue.
Couple weeks? No.
how much does he impact this game and Jalen Hurts' ability to air it out a little bit?
I think his absence allowed the Falcons to be able to shadow A.J. Terrell onto Devonta Smith. Smith. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I thought it was just Devontae.
Yeah, it's just Devontae.
But they allowed
Sorry,
A.J.
no
Terrell
ball.
to be able to shadow on and kind of keep their best receiver in check. And so it's just unfortunate for the Eagles, but you got to be able to adapt and move on.
100%.
You have other guys.
Absolutely.
Speaking of adapting and moving on, we are going to take our Week 3 picks. We're going to go, again, Jack, me, Tyler, Trevor.
Yep.
Did you hear that,
And can
Tyler?
We
can
got
we
the
put
order.
the graphic up real quick too of our
Unfortunately,
Week 2 picks?
I don't know if we have the graphic.
Oh, I thought we did.
We have the
we
have
not?
the graphic.
The face Case made at me earlier. We do not
do
have
not
the
have
graphic.
the graphic.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay, just read it off. Tyler has 14
Yeah.
picks correct. Jack and Trevor each have 17, I think.
I think
Yeah.
we're doing too much right now.
Yeah.
And I have 18, I think, reading it backwards.
Yep.
So
We'll put it on
we are
in
going to
post.
go through it. This Thursday Night Football, September 19th, the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Who do we got, Jack?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Jets. I'm not going to overthink this one. I was speaking a lot of good things about the New England Patriots, but Aaron Rodgers looked a little better. I'm kind of starting to believe, well, I'm not kind of starting to believe, Garrett Wilson's really good at football.
Yeah.
I really like the New York Jets, maybe not to cover the spread, but definitely to win the game.
Give me the Jets.
Give me the Jets. Their defense going to come alive and really shut down New England.
This one's a toss-up for me, but I mean, I'm going Jets too.
Yay! All right, starting off the Sunday slate, we have the New York Giants at Cleveland.
Ugh.
Snooze fest.
I would love to have the Cleveland Browns defense in fantasy. Give me the Browns. I know it's out of
Can
order, but
can I take them both to lose this game?
Yeah, right?
Like,
A draw, maybe?
yeah. The Browns are going to win this one.
Give me the Browns.
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 Yeah. Now, another one. Do we think Deshaun Watson finally plays a little better?
He played good against Jacksonville. I don't
do
know
we
why
think-
we're hating on him.
Yeah,
but
he
I
played
think-
good against
He played
Jacksonville.
great.
mean,
He was throwing.
I think he'll look good.
He was slinging it.
I think he's going to look good.
Yeah.
After talking a lot of sauce about him
Yeah.
last week.
Yep.
This is the worst defense who
God.
will have played too.
This game is really going to define that conversation.
Yeah,
we had last
right?
week. So maybe I'll go Giants. Nah.
No.
the
All
Browns are
right,
gonna win
the
this
next
game.
game, Green Bay at Tennessee. Jack, take it away.
Packers.
Maybe?
I'm jumping. I'm saying Packers.
I learned last week that quarterbacks that used to be backups on teams, when they play against the teams, they do great. And so Malik Willis is going to do great against the Titans. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understood what you were putting down.
I'm hoping for another Will Levis just crazy picture in week 3.
He's 2 for 2.
He's 2 for 2. I'm praying for a third one, but I'm going Packers here. 100%.
Yay!
All right, the next game, Chicago at Indianapolis.
You can't really beat.
I mean, I'm going to go Indianapolis.
Oh,
You think the Bears are going to win?
There's no way Anthony Richardson can play as bad as he played last week.
I hate Anthony Richardson, but I don't like the Bears' chances.
I just
at
don't want to see you
Indianapolis.
happy.
yeah, I know.
that a
you
better
don't. I mean,
reasoning?
yes, I'd take that
He's a
over what
Bears
you
fan.
said.
He has enough going on.
Yeah, right.
Give me
No,
the
I-
Colts.
I'm just joking.
I'm
I
taking
don't.
Colts as well.
The only reason I'm picking the Bears, I mean, we hung in with C.J. Stroud in them. I
CJ
mean,
Stroud is having
CJ
a
Stroud
bad
and
year.
didn't play
Congrats, you
very
lose
good
one
either.
possession games.
yeah. It's still a one-possession game. I'm going Bears here.
Yeah, so was 3-9 Nebraska. There's your 5th reference.
These,
God.
okay, we have everyone's
Cringing,
pick.
Yep.
The
We're
next
all
game, Houston at Minnesota. These games are all like, we have had toss-ups almost,
Yeah.
I think, for a lot of these games so far.
I don't think this is toss-up. I think this obvious. I mean, if
You
guys
go
are-
first.
If
You
you
go
guys are gonna
first.
take your time,
Go.
I think Minnesota gets this.
I'm
They're
going
at
Houston.
home.
I don't know.
I
didn't study for this test.
Again, I'm just going to sit here and just trust my gut. We all thought Houston was going to be AFC
Yeah.
contenders. I'm just going to go with them, especially with the quarterback. I say quarterback situation. He's looked really good.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go CJ Stroud. We thought they were going to be contenders. They're going to be contenders.
I'm going to go with Jack here. I do think Houston's going to have a game where they show
They
why
need to have a game
I
where they
think
show.
I think the luck's running out for them. They're gonna get a loss here soon. It's gonna come to the
Yeah,
Vikings.
Tyler, I like your pick. I mean, I think I'm kind of got to go with the Vikings here.
I'm really split. I think we all made
Yeah,
some
that's gonna be a
pretty
close
solid
one.
That's a good
That's
game.
gonna be a fun game. hopefully.
Another fun game. Philadelphia at New Orleans.
I think we all have the same thing here, maybe.
I don't think so.
I
I
doubt
don't
it.
think we
I
do.
don't doubt it.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
Yeah,
They need
really?
to bounce back. They really need to bounce back.
do.
You
At
can't.
New Orleans too.
I mean,
Oh,
they
I'm
lost a
going
home
New
game. They lost a home game to Atlanta. They
Yeah.
need this one bad.
Yeah.
I'm going New Orleans.
Maybe if I'm lucky, we'll get a Jalen Hurts,
I'm gonna
Drake London, Selly.
I'm gonna
Feed
fade
families.
Grant. I'm gonna ride with Jack Kenna. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia.
I'm going with Grant here, and I'm picking the Saints.
Okay,
Let's go.
sure, whatever. Lose
All
them.
right. Los Angeles Chargers at Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna
Stinkers.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys.
go. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Thank you.
I mean, their defense is elite.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields is actually capable of getting it done. So
Good in
looked
Chicago.
Overall,
Wasn't his problem. I
yeah,
mean,
it was not his fault.
I've said that for a while now.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh as well.
I'm going Pittsburgh. I'm tired of overlooking how great that defense is. You
Yeah.
don't need an elite offense
And
when you have that good of a
I
defense.
did it last week and I regret it.
Yeah,
So.
Pittsburgh 100%.
Yay!
Denver at Tampa Bay.
Jack Kenna,
Oh,
are we riding?
we're not riding it. It's gonna be the Buccaneers.
Broncos country.
We're not riding this week. The Buccaneers are 2-0. They look really good. Huge win last week. Baker Mayfield's incredible. So yeah, Buccaneers.
Yep.
Buccaneers.
As much as I want to be different and pick Denver just because they need
You
a
don't
win
want to be
soon,
different.
Yeah.
they're not getting it done against
The
Tampa
Broncos
Bay.
game isn't the one to be different.
No,
for,
they're
let me
not.
tell
They're
ya.
not getting it done against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we're going Buccaneers.
Yay!
Carolina at Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Vegas.
I'm going
Do we
Vegas.
have to even go around here? Can we just
Put me
clap?
on Cam too.
No way.
Shut
Give
your
mouth.
Me, the Panthers. Give me Andy Dalton. They're going in to Las Vegas and they're getting it done. First win of the season.
If
there
they
were
win
to be
this
a
game,
game-
we are never going to hear the end of it.
If there were to be a game
not
though where
winning
the
that
Panthers
game.
win, it would be this game. So
I'm hate watching Carolina now because if Tyler's
We
right,
can't see Tyler.
Raiders. Raiders.
Give me the
Raiders,
Panthers.
Raiders.
They're getting it done.
Miami at Seattle. These are all like, I feel like week 3 is the 50-50 game.
Week 3 has been a toss-up.
I'm gonna go Seattle. I'm not really gonna overlook this one.
I'm going Seattle too.
Going Seattle.
Yeah.
You don't know who the quarterback. I mean, you know who the quarterback is for Miami, but you don't really know how they're going to do.
Yeah, going Seattle as well.
Yay!
That was low energy right there, fellas.
Baltimore
That's
at
Pick it up
Dallas.
next time.
I again think this is
This is
another
the mom's game of the week for the NFL.
the NFL Moms Game of the week. The Baltimore Ravens traveling to Dallas to go against the Cowboys. That is the Moms Game of the week.
Mom's game of the week for the NFL segment. You heard it here first, guys, from
Yeah.
B-Team Sports. With that being said, I'm going to take the Cowboys. They need to bounce back. It's a home game. I think the Ravens are going to go 0-3 to start the year.
Yeah.
I'm honestly really surprised that I'm not the only one thinking that.
We them boys.
Yeah.
They've got my pick.
Dallas Cowboys have led up a lot of points. I forget the exact number. A lot of points at home the past 2 games. They have not
they
been
gave
a
up
great
44
team.
to the Saints last week.
And it was bad in the playoffs too. It's hard. I want to pick Dallas, and I think I'm going to, but I'm probably wrong. They're probably going to screw it up like they do every time. But we them
It's
boys.
not the postseason yet.
We done
Case is
boys.
loving this right now.
I, as much as I want to see Case in the corner of the couch melting after the Dallas Cowboys go 1-2, I mean, you can't not pick them. I gotta go Cowboys. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Are we? Is that a
There we go.
I'm surprised no one took Baltimore.
All
to be
right.
honest.
San Francisco at Los Angeles.
This is a quick one.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
go San Fran.
San Fran.
Niners.
San Fran.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Detroit at Arizona.
I'm going to go Detroit. I'm not going to overlook this one. Goff hasn't looked amazing this year, but
Yeah.
I do. Now that I say that, I almost want to pick Kyler Murray and the Cardinals because
What's it
they
gonna
look
be?
real good. I'm
What's
going to
it gonna
go.
be, Kenna?
I'm gonna go the Lions.
Okay. Great.
I again feel like this is a toss-up game.
It really is a toss-up game.
Yeah.
We've had a
What
lot of
the-
toss-up games.
Yeah.
What
It's
do you
gonna
want,
be a good
though?
slate this
I
weekend.
don't know. It depends. Can the Cardinals recreate what they had last week with Kyler Murray and
What
Marvin
if I tell you
Harrison?
no?
Yeah.
then
right?
give me the Lions.
Yeah.
If
If
they
I tell you
can't,
yes.
then
Just pick one.
You know
Just
what?
give me
Just
the-
give me the Lions.
Yeah,
Give me
there
the
it is.
Cardinals.
Really?
Give me the Cardinals. I'm not sold on the Lions right now.
I'm not fully sold on the Lions either, but I'm still going to go with them. I think the Cardinals will be
Alrighty.
be a good game.
And the Sunday night game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at Atlanta.
Don't overlook it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Don't overlook it.
Don't wanna
Yeah,
see
and
them go
I'm gonna go.
They're good.
I'm gonna go the. Psych. Nah. I'm gonna go the Chiefs. The Chiefs. Woo.
Give me the Chiefs.
As I'm growing a little.
Give me
bit.
give me the
right.
Chiefs.
I want to be different so bad.
Do it then.
No, I'm not. I'm going Chiefs.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked excellent so far.
He's
No,
he's
he
a very
hasn't.
normal quarterback in the regular season,
But he,
in the postseason he's.
But
very
yeah,
different.
let's not overlook this
Yeah,
one.
you
They're still
can't.
the Chiefs. I am very curious to see how they're gonna look without Pacheco. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Kelsey can get involved a little bit more. But
Yeah, you're telling me.
I'm
I
gonna-
dropped
I'm gonna
1 point
interrupt-
on my fantasy bench.
I'm going to interrupt Grant here. I'll take this one. Jacksonville at Buffalo. Kenna?
yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo.
Yep, I'm going Buffalo.
Grant, I'm sorry. man. I'm going Buffalo.
I'm more excited to see what Grant's doing. Are they going
Ride
0-3?
with them. Ride with your team.
Duval's dead?
Ride with your team.
0-3?
Don't listen
I
to
will
them.
go with Duval.
There it is.
Purely
Love it.
because-
I love it.
I can see this. I can see them losing this game, and I think they are going to lose this game. I think they're going to start the year off 0-4. But if this is a game to reset the season, it is this game, national television. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars, baby.
The Jaguars.
No,
the
it's
Jaguars would have 4 losses through 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Okay now. Okay now.
2 Monday night games.
Yeah.
2 Monday night games. It's a
Fun
great
time
day.
to be a football fan.
Terrible day. And I got school the next day, too. The 2 days I have school. Tuesday, we got Monday night football the day before, and then
Not
Thursday night
school
football.
on any other days.
Nah,
I
he's
only
got,
got
he's
class
got
on
the Monday,
Tuesday
Wednesday,
and,
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday.
Friday
Well, let's
off.
get this final game wrapped up. Let's get everyone out of here. Washington at Cincinnati. I don't think it's.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right. The Bengals have to win this game.
They
right?
If they go 0-3,
right?
I mean, I hope they go 0-3.
I want to say Washington can win it, but
I
they
do
don't have the
too.
pieces. They
No.
just don't have it. And T. Higgins comes back.
And the Bengals kept up with the Chiefs. I mean,
So
it's
are we-
hard. We got
They
to
always
saying
Yeah,
Bengals
they
here.
do.
We're all saying Bengals.
Yeah,
what a
go
great
Bengals
one to
here.
end on.
Yep, great one to end on.
Woo!
Before we wrap up, I want to once again give a shout out to Mr. Case
Yep.
over there who's running our graphics. And then I just want to also thank Cal
Yeah.
and Media Crossroads
Yep,
for allowing
big
us to
shout
use
out.
this beautiful space.
Big shout out.
With that being said, I'll let Grant take us away.
Yeah.
You know, this was the first episode in the new studio. We hope we can come back. Who
Don't
knows?
get used to it.
Let us know
Who
what you think.
knows?
Yeah, don't get
let
too
us know.
used
Yeah,
to
let
it.
us know what you think. You know, go check out our Instagram
yeah.
at B Team Sports.
Well,
Yeah, let's link
Podcast.
ourselves a
We
little
will
bit.
Yeah,
link
we'll
ourselves.
post it up on the screen.
We'll edit it up on the
Yeah.
screen. Go check us out. We have Spotify, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, and we have a TikTok. We're gonna be posting. We're gonna try our best to post more media throughout the week. So again, thank you guys for watching and keeping up with us. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. Have a great night, and we will see you guys next week.